The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the World Heavyweight Championship.
The Scottish Warrior, the self-proclaimed Chosen One, the #1 contender, Drew McIntyre. You want to talk about destiny? Is tonight the night that Drew McIntyre fulfills the long-awaited prophecy and becomes the World Heavyweight Champion in front of a sold-out capacity crowd at the Showcase of the Immortals. Drew McIntyre experienced loss, experienced failure, experienced defeat time and time again in 2022. But those losses, those experiences have only made Drew McIntyre hungrier. They've only made the Warrior want this so much more. And Drew McIntyre outlasted 5 of SmackDown's best inside the Elimination Chamber to earn his spot in tonight's main event, WrestleMania Saturday, for the World Heavyweight Championship. But no matter how much momentum McIntyre has, is anybody operating on a better level than the Visionary, than the Revolutionary, than the World Heavyweight Champion? Seth Rollins has been World Heavyweight Champion atop of Friday Night SmackDown for 78 days. He has not lost in WWE in 149 days. Since being the World Champion, Rollins owns victories over Buddy Murphy, Robert Roode, Dominic Mysterio, the Hurricane, Dexter Lumis, Jeff Hardy, Dolph Ziggler on 2 occasions, and he has pinned John Cena 3 separate times. Seth Rollins is a part of the best. But the fact is, he may be leading the pack as the absolute best. But tonight is where you prove it. Tonight is the big dance. And tonight is for all the gold.
Introducing the challenger from Ayr, Scotland, weighing in at 254 pounds, Drew McIntyre. And introducing the champion from Davenport, Iowa, weighing in at 217 pounds, he is the World Heavyweight Champion, Seth Rollins.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is main event time! February 25th, Raymond James Stadium, Tampa Bay, Florida, WrestleMania Saturday. And Friday Night SmackDown's best of the best are in the main event. McIntyre, Rollins. The bell has sounded and the world title's on the line. Who wants it more? We are gonna find out right here tonight at WrestleMania. McIntyre has been the WWE Champion. He defeated Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania for the gold on a night, on a WrestleMania in front of nobody, in front of no audience. McIntyre, people have wondered if he will crack under the pressure of finally making it back to the big stage and competing in front of 65,000 plus. But as mentioned in the video package beforehand, McIntyre is out tonight to prove his naysayers wrong and to prove his supporters correct. And Seth Rollins wasting no time looking to take out McIntyre off that middle rope Phoenix Splash and follows it up with a knee. We mentioned the list of opponents Seth Rollins has defeated over the last number of months. We have said it time and time again. We are not sure if Seth Rollins, or I should say if anybody in WWE, is operating on a better level than the visionary of WWE. You might not like Seth Rollins' cocky attitude. You might not like his actions sometimes, but there's no doubting his talents, no doubting his abilities, and no doubting that he absolutely hasn't earned every victory as the World Heavyweight Champion. McIntyre's looking to spoil that reign tonight, but Rollins wants to end this thing early, trying to take the wind out of the sails of McIntyre, but McIntyre gets the shoulder up. Seth Rollins has got to continue to just beat down McIntyre, take the audience out of this, take Drew McIntyre's hopes and dreams out of this, and pick apart the man like he has done to so many others. McIntyre avoiding disaster off that moonsault and a nice headbutt there. Drew McIntyre. And now pummeling away on Seth Rollins. He's got to beat the piss out of the world champion tonight if he wants to leave with the gold. And he's looking to do just that as he sends Rollins for a ride. McIntyre is as hungry as I have ever seen him these last number of months. He wants this more than possibly anybody. But does he have what it takes to dethrone Seth Rollins? Rollins not even allowing a 1 count there as McIntyre whips him off, and a nice overhead throw by the Scottish Warrior. Now McIntyre going back again, just pummeling the world champion. We're going to talk about Rollins trying to take the wins out of McIntyre's sails. McIntyre's trying to make sure Rollins can't make it to those deep championship rounds that he has thrived in throughout his reign. Oh, and Rollins with a ripcord knee on McIntyre. This has been pedal to the metal since the opening bell. This is what the main event of WrestleMania is all about, leaving it all in the ring and never looking back. Now Rollins going back to the top rope. McIntyre's down. Frog splash by Rollins. Vintage, visionary, inside of the squared circle. And I'll follow it up with a knee directly into the spine that may as well be right into the heart of Drew McIntyre. Trying to take McIntyre out of this matchup, and Drew able to counter. Oh, goes for a shot there, but Rollins had to scout it, and McIntyre. I don't know if Rollins, if it's smart for Rollins, I should say, to throw haymakers with the Scottish Warrior. Oh, McIntyre with another hard shot. Falls over the kick, falls over the chop, goes for the headbutt. Rollins counters and sends the #1 contender over the top rope. What a WrestleMania Saturday it has been thus far, and this is your main event of night 1. We will be back tomorrow night for WrestleMania Sunday at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Another live premiere. You're not going to want to miss it. McIntyre grabbing Seth Rollins again and throws him into the ring apron. Rollins sent McIntyre to the outside originally, but I don't know if that was the best idea, surrounding Drew McIntyre with the accessories at ringside. McIntyre Knows he can't win via count out. Gonna head back into the ring after doing a little bit of punishment to the world champion. And now sending Rollins off, pulls him back in. Tilt-to-world backbreaker to the world heavyweight champion. Rollins has defeated everybody that has been put in front of him over the last couple of months on Friday Night SmackDown. Is Drew McIntyre going to be the kryptonite, however, or is Seth Rollins just better than anybody right now? This Seth Rollins truly operating on a different level than the rest of the WWE locker room. That is what we will find out in this main event. As Rollins looks to take the momentum back, goes for the kick to the gut. McIntyre counters, misses for a shot. Another hard-hitting shot. McIntyre's really throwing a lot of strikes tonight. Just trying to knock the wind out of Seth Rollins and let that punishment add up in the process. With them off there, Rollins was able to avoid whatever McIntyre had in mind, and Rollins drops him with the DDT. McIntyre's been in control the last few minutes, now gets a taste of his own medicine as the world champion is unloading on the #1 contender right now and just pummeling Drew McIntyre in the corner in Tampa Bay. Stomping a mutt hole, if you will. The world heavyweight champion loving his own work as McIntyre's down the canvas. There's the kip up, goes for the clothesline, and absolutely takes off the head of Rollins. Back into the corner. Do not keep down, or not count out McIntyre, I should say, for very long. Squashes Rollins in the corner, now the reverse suplex. Letting Rollins eat the canvas, and McIntyre to win the world title here at WrestleMania, not just yet. After everything McIntyre has been through over the last 365 days, he has worked so hard to get better, worked so hard to get back to this moment. He does not want to see the opportunity pass through his fingers tonight, and he's willing to do anything, even going off the top rope in uncharacteristic fashion. Rollins gets the shoulder up, and the damage has certainly got to be done after driving the elbow right into the sternum of the world champion. McIntyre again sending Seth Rollins over. Rollins able to hang on, but I don't think McIntyre, he's got an answer for every question Rollins is going to throw at him tonight. Or at least he better hope. McIntyre, oh man, was going for a punt kick, it looked like there. And coming from a tree trunk leg the size of McIntyre, that would have took him out. Wait a minute! Curb stomp! McIntyre's WrestleMania and world title dreams may have just gone up in smoke. Into the cover. The kick out. McIntyre with the kick out of the curb stomp. Does anybody want the world championship more? Does anybody want the moment more than the Scottish breathing son of a bitch and Drew McIntyre? McIntyre kicked out of Seth Rollins' best move in his arsenal, the curb stomp, and somehow the Scottish Warrior is still breathing. Rollins muscles up McIntyre, and McIntyre face plants on the canvas again. Rollins heads back up, McIntyre kips up, able to trip up Seth Rollins, and Rollins goes down. McIntyre, you smell the sense of urgency out of the #1 contender. After the curb stomp, he knows he's got to turn the gear up to 10 right now. Now Drew whips off Rollins. Shoulder block there. He's got to unload. He's got to give everything he's got to this matchup tonight. There can be nothing left behind. No holding back as he sits out into the cover. Will that do it to win the gold dead center of the ring? But Rollins still has fight left in him. Gotta wonder what the psyche of Rollins is right now. That curb stomp, usually the final nail in the coffin. Not able to put McIntyre away just yet. Has Rollins blown a load already as McIntyre has got him on the top rope. Look at the strength of the #1 contender. Down goes the champion from oh so high in the air. And McIntyre is still not done. Rollins on spaghetti legs, but there's a counter by the champion. World title's on the line. Rollins not looking to give an inch as he super kicks the nose of Drew McIntyre here. And Rollins in the corner. Well, McIntyre, you want to talk about dazed? Look no further than the #1 contender. Behind the back Rollins goes, and that may do it. After the curb stomp plus a final blow to retain the world title. No, McIntyre survives again. Seth Rollins has got to be racking his brain right now as to what the hell he's got to do to keep down Drew McIntyre tonight. Rollins may be better than ever, but is Drew McIntyre just too motivated for anybody humanly possible to keep McIntyre down and out tonight? Rollins sends the big man over the top rope and sends him down to the floor off the snap off the top rope. Now Rollins going to continue the fight, sends the world champion back in the ring after he takes that fall. The champ's going after him. There's a chop from Rollins. Rollins unloading on the #1 contender again. McIntyre kips up, grabs the champion, and sends him into the ropes. Rollins able to block it. Collar and elbow again here as McIntyre sends Rollins into the corner, and there's a boot again. McIntyre getting back into this matchup, trying to rally the crowd here in Tampa Bay, but he's got to keep his eyes on the world champion. And that misstep may have just handed Rollins the victory tonight here at WrestleMania. And in the cover he goes to retain the gold. McIntyre survives. McIntyre's got to keep his eye on the ball. He can't be rallying the troops right now. Tampa Bay is behind him. He's got to know that, and he's got to stay focused. And an elbow takes the champ off his feet, at least for a moment. Got to keep your foot on the gas, as McIntyre is stomping out the heart of the World Heavyweight Champion. Back into the corner goes Rollins. McIntyre putting him on the top rope. What has he got in mind here? Just ragdolls him off the top, and Rollins takes a fall. And oh no, McIntyre's in the corner. If he hits this, it may be all she wrote. Claymore! To accomplish a lifelong dream. No! Rollins kicks out. You've got to be kidding me. Seth Rollins survives. And the World Heavyweight Championship main event rolls on another moment. McIntyre shot his best shot at Rollins right there. The Claymore kick, and somehow, someway, Seth Rollins survives. Rollins now on the apron, goes for the springboard, goes for the knee. McIntyre gets out of the way. McIntyre still finds himself with the upper hand, at least for the moment. Gotta capitalize where the champion's weary. Who's got the intestinal fortitude to dig down deep, reach into their heart, reach into their soul, fight another moment, fight another minute, and walk away as the World Heavyweight Champion? Rollins is down right now. McIntyre continues to fight. Goes for the headbutt there. Rollins counters, but McIntyre with a counter. Goes for the haymaker, hits the kick. McIntyre unloading, another reversal by Rollins. Goes for the kick, another reversal by McIntyre, but Rollins hits the enziguri. McIntyre pops up, swinging neck breaker by that Scottish breathing son of a bitch, Drew McIntyre. Rollins with another kick, but McIntyre will not stay down. Rollins is down on the canvas. McIntyre's wheels are turning. If he hits this, Claymore #2 it will be. There it is. Will that do it? The dreams of Drew McIntyre have finally been realized. And the Chosen One's prophecy has been fulfilled on the showcase of the Immortals. Holy hell, what a main event. Seth Rollins toppled them all, but he was not good enough to outlast the Scottish Warrior, the man who just wanted it more. Drew McIntyre has accomplished a lifelong dream and is the new World Heavyweight Champion.
your winner, and the new World Heavyweight Champion, Drew McIntyre.
We called it destiny, and destiny it was. Failure becomes triumph. Failure becomes victories. Failure becomes winning it all on the grandest stage of them all. 2022, lesson learned for Drew McIntyre. 2023, destiny is fulfilled on the biggest night of Drew McIntyre's career. WrestleMania Saturday, one for the history books. And we're not done. We'll be back here tomorrow night, 5 p.m. Eastern Time, for WrestleMania Sunday.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the World Heavyweight Championship.
It is your Friday Night SmackDown main event, and the World Heavyweight title is on the line. And making his appearance first, the challenger, the #1 contender, the former 16-time world champion, the man who is on the hunt for number 17, the franchise player of World Wrestling Entertainment, John Cena. As you saw in the tail of the tape, the last time Cena and McIntyre went one-on-one was on Friday Night SmackDown back on December the 14th of last year, just a few months ago. And John Cena defeated Drew McIntyre on that night. All these months later, McIntyre now finds himself as the champion. Cena finds himself as the challenger. And Cena has certainly been on the momentum side of things as of late. Has built some great momentum for himself on the road to tonight. Back on WrestleMania Sunday in February, John Cena defeated Robert Roode, a man who called him out for a contest on the grandest stage. John Cena, as we mentioned earlier tonight, defeated Austin Theory to become the #1 contender for Minneapolis tonight. And just 48 hours ago, Cena hit the Nigerian Giant Omos with quite possibly the biggest attitude adjustment we've ever seen in the history of Friday Night SmackDown. Off the top and down to the canvas. I still can't believe it 2 days later. But Cena is locked and loaded. Cena is prepared as prepared can be. And he better be, because he's got a Scottish warrior, or as I like to say, a fire-breathing dragon. And of course, the World Heavyweight Champion standing across the ring. McIntyre had a tumultuous 2022, but he turned things around earlier this year by winning the Elimination Chamber back on January 22nd in Anaheim. And if you remember, who were the final two inside of that structure? Drew McIntyre and John Cena. McIntyre pinned John Cena on that night, which secured McIntyre's WrestleMania main event, which of course led Drew to defeating Seth freaking Rollins and becoming the new World Heavyweight Champion. So no shortage of history between the Scottish Warrior, the Chosen One, and the franchise player, the Challenger. But tonight is for all the marbles. Tonight is where it matters most. Past victories and past defeats go out of your mind, and you focus on the moment. You focus on the matter at hand. And the matter at hand is the gold that is in the hands of Drew McIntyre. The big gold belt, the World Heavyweight Championship. This is your Friday Night SmackDown main event here at the Target Center in Minneapolis, Minnesota. It's been a hell of a night, but we are far from over. The two all-stars of the blue brand set to lock horns for the most prestigious prize of Friday nights, the World Championship. McIntyre and Cena are ready. Let's send things down to the ring for your official pre-match introductions.
Introducing the challenger from West Newbury, Massachusetts, weighing in at 251 pounds, John Cena! And his opponent from Ayr, Scotland, weighing in at 230
The stage is set. It is your SmackDown main event here at Backlash. Cena, McIntyre for the World Heavyweight Championship. Cena chasing number 17. McIntyre not looking to foresee his destiny go to the wayside anytime soon. Who is going to get the job done? McIntyre, Cena. The bell has sounded and we are underway for the World Heavyweight title. As we saw in the tail of the tape, and as we see before our very eyes, McIntyre with the size advantage, the height and weight over John Cena. Quite possibly the strength as well, but you can never count out the strength of John Cena, one of the strongest men we've ever seen in WWE, as he showcased just 48 hours ago against Omos. At the end of the day, McIntyre and Cena, I got a feeling this is going to be a war of attrition between these two men. We've seen both men go the distance in big match situations plenty of times throughout their career and come out on the other end as champions. McIntyre did it most recently at WrestleMania, the reason he is the World Heavyweight Champion tonight. Can Cena get the job done and finally secure his 17th World Championship here in the WWE? That is the question at hand, and we're going to find out the result in just a matter of moments. McIntyre with the advantage so far over John Cena. And as this SmackDown main event here at Backlash progresses, I want to send a special thank you to everybody watching this at home. Thank you for joining us thus far for WWE Backlash, our first live premiere event of the season. As we mentioned at the top of the show, and as we will say again, Sunday night, April the 16th, 2023, certainly going to go down in the history books. We are far from over as the World Championship is on the line and the WWE Championship still to be defended. And what a powerbomb by Cena into the cover again to win the 17th championship. Not just yet. Cena has been to the top of the mountain 16 times. He has done it all in World Wrestling Entertainment. Money in the Bank holder, Royal Rumble match winner not once but twice, United States champion. There's very few things that Cena does not have on his accolades, but all he cares about tonight is breaking that record. As McIntyre goes into the cover off the overhead throw to retain the title, obviously early to get a victory in this kind of a matchup. As we mentioned, we'll say it again, this is going to be a war of attrition. I do not see this one going down in just a matter of a few minutes. This is going to be who outlasts the other in the deep waters of battle. When all the marble, all the treasure is on the line, who is going to outlast the other in the end and walk away with the championship of the world? McIntyre sends Cena to the apron. Cena with a nice counter there. This is obviously going to be a powerhouse versus powerhouse matchup. Cena again avoiding McIntyre. Whatever McIntyre's got in mind, Cena obviously, his wheels are turning, and McIntyre for the third time sends Cena over the top rope and just drags him back into the ring on his own accord and sends him down to the canvas. McIntyre having his way with the franchise at least for a moment. And now Drew gonna show Cena in his mind how it's done. Power bomb and sits out with it with a cover to retain the championship, and Cena gets the shoulder up again. Now, we discussed this matchup a little bit earlier tonight. And Austin Theory and Cody Rhodes were tearing down the house here in Minneapolis. You gotta wonder if Cody Rhodes, now that he has defeated Austin Theory, is gonna be eyeing up the World Championship, or is Austin Theory gonna be trying to weasel his way back into the #1 contendership? Or is somebody else on Friday Night SmackDown looking to step up after Backlash? All remains to be seen. Cena taking McIntyre down with that monkey flip, followed up, and wait a minute, Cena go to the outside! Taking out the bigger competitor. Cena doing what he's got to do tonight to outlast Drew McIntyre and win the World Championship. Obviously going high risk, high reward, not usually in the repertoire of John Cena. We have seen him add many moves to the arsenal, many moves to that quote-unquote 5 moves of doom over the years, but Cena throwing caution in the wind like that, especially at this age, at this length in his career, just shows you the heart of John Cena, the will to win, and how much he wants to become champion. McIntyre heading back into the ring, trying to outlast Cena. Oh, wait a minute, Cena, I think, may have been watching that Theory and Rhodes match earlier. Same suplex, same position, out of the ring and to the floor. John Cena taking a move out of Cody Rhodes' book. I think he had his eyes locked on that contest earlier tonight in preparation for tonight. Able to power Drew McIntyre the obvious bigger competitor, damn near 300 pounds, over the top rope and down to the floor. And you see Cena, no wasted motion, got the champion back into the ring, followed it up with another power bomb, but McIntyre only allows a 1 count. And that just shows the strength of McIntyre, and a Glasgow kiss to Cena. And John Cena, his lights may have been turned off for good. McIntyre into the cover, off the Glasgow kiss, but Cena gets the shoulder up. John Cena getting brought to his feet. His body's there, but nobody's home, and Cena gets laid out with the Claymore kick. McIntyre to retain the championship, not just yet, as Cena gets the shoulder up. McIntyre went for the kill off the Glasgow kiss. He hit the Claymore, and somehow John Cena survived. We said this was going to be a war of attrition, and John Cena just took Drew McIntyre's best maneuvers out of the hat and threw him out the window. Cena's going to continue to fight, and Cena's not going to go down until he is satisfied with victory. McIntyre whips off the challenger, and there's an elbow. Going basic, but going effective. Cena may have got the shoulder up, and as he sends McIntyre over the top rope, you gotta wonder if the lights are on, but is anybody home? As John Cena got his bell rung moments ago, and yeah, he's got the adrenaline pumping right now. He's fighting Drew McIntyre, but is Cena gonna be able to outlast when this thing gets into championship rounds, when we enter deep waters for the World Heavyweight title in your SmackDown main event? Hip toss takes out the champion, drops the elbow. And Cena's got to keep this going. He's got to keep the momentum here in his corner. Cannot allow Drew McIntyre to get back control. He already got hit with a Glasgow kiss. He already got his bell rung off the Claymore. He cannot afford more offense like that from McIntyre, but Cena drops the elbow from the top. And Cena just trying to muscle up the bigger competitor and drops him with the the drop kick there. And Cena's trying to rally Minneapolis, Minnesota to the C-Nation corner. And you see McIntyre starting to feel the effects. Cena muscles him on the top rope. McIntyre able to avoid disaster. You gotta wonder if Cena was going for that attitude adjustment he hit to Omos 48 hours ago. Nonetheless, off the reversal neck breaker, McIntyre not able to keep Cena down. Gotta wonder if that attitude adjustment is what Cena had in mind. The maneuver that kept down the Nigerian Giant 48 hours ago. McIntyre clearly had it scouted, but Cena continues pressing forward. McIntyre gets the shoulder up again. What a hell of a main event this has been. SmackDown main event, of course. We still got the Hell in the Cell to be lowered on behalf of Monday Night Raw and the WWE Championship still to be decided tonight in Minneapolis. Nobody does live premieres, nobody does pay-per-view quite like the No Nation Gaming YouTube channel. As McIntyre back inside the squared circle to lay out the challenger. Oh, wait a minute here. Look at McIntyre. I believe he was going for a Claymore kick, but not watching his, or not a Claymore kick, a Kimura lock, but not watching his ring awareness. And Cena saved by the ropes there. McIntyre obviously trying to find an ace in the hole and do whatever he can to defeat John Cena and retain the World Championship. Cena kicked out after the Glasgow kiss and the Claymore. You gotta wonder if McIntyre's racking his brain right now, trying to figure out what he's got to do to keep the challenger down tonight. Cena get back into this matchup, and both men going for a clothesline, but McIntyre's the successor. Hits two of them, and there's a third. And into the cover to retain. I got a feeling that's gonna do it. No! Cena survives again, and you see it starting to get to Drew McIntyre. McIntyre questioning his efforts right now as John Cena continues to press forward for the World Heavyweight Championship. McIntyre goes underneath. Gut-wrench suplex, sits out with it, elects not to go for the pinfall, however. And Cena just trying to use the ropes to get to his feet. And here comes McIntyre with another clothesline to squash the challenger in the corner. McIntyre's having his way, but there's a reversal by Cena. And Cena just throws his body at the champion. This is what John's got to do to get back into this matchup. If anybody knows how to fight from underneath and come out on the other end victorious, it's the franchise player. He's made a career out of proving people wrong. As Cena may about to be coming up short tonight, as McIntyre still not able to put the #1 contender away. Cena just trying to get to his feet as McIntyre's continuing with this offense here. And Cena, look at him, still not being able to be kept down. And McIntyre continuing to go to the well with what works. Power bomb. And how many falls, how many slams can Cena take? Oh no, McIntyre's going for Claymore #2. Cena avoids it. Cena gets out of the way. Oh no! Attitude adjustment by John Cena. Into the cover. He might have just caught McIntyre. No! Mamma mia, McIntyre kicks out. What a night. What a match. McIntyre went for Claymore #2. Cena avoided it and immediately struck with the attitude adjustment after minutes on minutes of high offense from the champion. And McIntyre's down on the outside. Cena's heading to an uncharacteristic position. Crossbody by Cena. And oh no, John Cena, he's gonna have to dig down deep, clearing off the announce table. The franchise, clearly, his gears are spinning right now, and he's obviously questioning what he's gonna have to do to keep the world champion down after McIntyre survived that attitude adjustment. This is what the World Heavyweight Championship is all about. This is what the big gold belt means to these two all-stars of SmackDown. And Cena, it hits the axe hammer on McIntyre. The count broken on the referee. Now McIntyre up against the announce table again. And John Cena using it as a weapon as McIntyre's bell rung, at least for a moment. Cena's just throwing Drew McIntyre all around ringside. And this may be Cena's best shot at the current moment to try to keep down the world champion as he comes off the apron. And Cena may have hurt himself off that maneuver, but obviously trying to do anything he can to win the championship here. Referee at a count of 6. Count of 7. Cena obviously can't win via count out. I think he knows McIntyre has got his wits about him, and this matchup continues on inside the ring as Cena, on the momentum driver's seat right now, takes out McIntyre. Cena heads to the top rope. The world champion is just trying to get off those spaghetti legs. Cena's a little far out. I don't know if I would risk this. Not enough. John Cena clearly miscalculating that axe hammer. But be counting his lucky stars that McIntyre still was not aware of his position inside the ring. Cena heading back up to the top rope. I think he wants to make up for that misstep. He does not. Goes for the crossbody. McIntyre counters, and Cena may have costed himself. They don't call it high risk, high reward for a reason. That time there was no reward, and it handed the momentum of this matchup back to the world champion on a silver platter. Oh my goodness, McIntyre sending John Cena for a ride. And if that's not a knockout blow, I don't know what is. Cena gets out again. And somehow your Friday night SmackDown main event here in Minneapolis continues. McIntyre and Cena leaving it all inside of that ring, fighting tooth and nail for the most prestigious prize in the blue brand, the World Heavyweight Championship. A title that's been held by the American Dream, Dusty Rhodes. A title that's been held by Hulk Hogan, 16 times by Ric Flair, the Icon Sting, Triple H, the Animal Batista, and so many more. Cena sends McIntyre over the top rope and down to the floor again. Cena knows he can't win via countout. He knows he can't win here at ringside, but obviously his wheels are turning and he's trying to do anything he can just to keep McIntyre down and off the top rope. Almost Cactus Jack-esque as Cena comes off the top and drops an elbow all the way to the floor of this arena on the stardom of the world champion. And somehow McIntyre's still breathing signs of life, but not for long. Cena with a slam on the outside. Referee at a count of 3. Would hate to see a double count out in this situation. I mean, we are in the midst of an amazing main event as Cena's once again, oh no, set his eyes on the announce table. McIntyre! Attitude adjustment through the announce table. John Cena has come unglued here in Minneapolis and is willing to put Drew McIntyre's livelihood at risk to become a 17-time World Heavyweight Champion. McIntyre survived the attitude adjustment earlier. He just got leveled with one through the announce table, but somehow the world champion is still walking on his own 2 feet. Back inside the ring, Cena whiffs a clothesline. McIntyre, look at the muscle, belly to belly, and Cena got sent for an amusement park ride. Into the cover, Cena's foot near the ropes there, but referee's gonna count it. Cena gets the shoulder up. And Cena not being able to capitalize off that attitude adjustment may have cost him. McIntyre's got a fire under his ass right now, and if Cena doesn't get up and put out that fire, his chances of becoming world champion are literally gonna go up in smoke. Here comes the haymakers of the franchise. Cena, one of the best brawlers in WWE history, as McIntyre's down, and Cena trying to follow it up. There's an elbow. Cena gets the champion to his feet. What has John Cena got in mind as he sends McIntyre into the corner again? And up top goes the world champion, and my goodness! Doesn't get more brutal than that. Nothing fancy, nothing pretty, just a fall from the heavens as Cena shoves McIntyre off the top rope and down to the floor of the Target Center. And again, Cena knows he can't win this match by countout, but he's willing to at least stretch that count to at least a 9 to get Drew McIntyre down and out here as McIntyre's back into the ring. And up and over he goes again. Cena just trying to stay fired up, stay into this matchup. McIntyre, so much wear and tear on the bodies of these two competitors. McIntyre needs the ropes to get up. Cena here trying to outrun the world champion, and that he does. We said this was going to be a matchup of powerhouse versus powerhouse, and that's exactly what it's been. McIntyre off the counter, sends Cena to the corner. Now Drew sends Cena to the corner again. What a kick to the chest! Outsmarted the challenger, and John Cena may be gasping for air right now as McIntyre sends him for another slam. And we are still moving in this World Championship match. McIntyre into the submission hold on Cena. Cena's dangerously close to the ropes for McIntyre's chances, but Cena, so unorthodox in his mind right now, can't even get his wits about him. Can't even reach for the ropes. He's going to elect to try to power out of this submission hold. And that he does, at least for a moment. And a right hand by Cena. A left, a body shot, one to the jaw. Cena's just going for the haymakers. An old school bare knuckle brawl. A Glasgow kiss by McIntyre for the second time. No shot, Cena's getting up. No shot. Cena got the shoulder up again. The World Championship matchup is far from over. How the hell are these two men still got lungs, or still got breath left in their lungs, I should say, as Cena comes off the top, trying to take all the air out of Drew McIntyre. Cena has survived 2 Glasgow Kiss, a Claymore, and now drops the leg off 3 high-risk maneuvers to win the world title, but McIntyre kicks out. The exhaustion setting in here at ringside, but I cannot imagine the exhaustion that is setting in for champion and challenger as we are nearing 20 minutes in this World Championship affair. McIntyre trying to get to his legs on the outside. Cena's in the ring just awaiting the champion, trying to pick his spots, not waste any momentum, waste any breath. Down goes the champion again. Oh, wait a minute, what has Cena got in mind? He's got his eyes locked on McIntyre. McIntyre barely to his feet. Luthez by Cena. John Cena going old school on the world champion right now, and Cena trying to rally. But is he trying to get himself fired up or not? McIntyre with a reversal. Claymore! McIntyre with the Claymore kick out of nowhere. Into the cover. That will finally do it. What a match for the World Heavyweight title. If you ever question the prestige, if you ever question what it meant to hold the big gold belt, look no further than the fight that these two men just withstood inside of that very squared circle.
Winner, and still World Heavyweight Champion, the Scottish Warrior, Drew McIntyre. Drew
McIntyre proving himself worthy of being a world champion yet again. That was an absolutely unbelievable performance. And there is no shame in losing for the franchise John Cena tonight. He will live to fight another day, and I'm sure he is not done on the hunt for his 17th world title. But as for tonight, the moment belongs to the chosen one, just as it did on WrestleMania Saturday. McIntyre continues his destiny forward. Still World Heavyweight Champion, the man of Friday Night SmackDown, the Scottish Warrior, Drew McIntyre.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the World Heavyweight Championship.
He who has the gold has the power. And the former two-time NXT World Champion, who has been making a name for himself on Friday Night SmackDown for the last number of months, is looking to create his own legacy, build his own legend, and gain all the power on the blue brand tonight. The blue chipper athlete, Bron Breakker, has taken Friday Night SmackDown by storm, has yet to smell defeat. But tonight he has got a target as wide as his own back is, with Drew McIntyre and the sight he has set on the challenger. Bron Breakker made his bed, but he very well may have to sleep in it if the World Heavyweight Champion has any say. Two heavyweights about to collide for the world's richest gold on Friday Night SmackDown. Bron Breakker, once the World Heavyweight Champion, was not about to wait at the back of the line and wait for his opportunity. He targeted Drew McIntyre when McIntyre least expected it. And ever since then, it's been chaos and disorder, keeping these two men apart on Friday Night SmackDown. Bron Breakker's locked and loaded, but so is the World Heavyweight Champion, the Scottish Warrior, Drew McIntyre. McIntyre arrives in the Rogers Arena, laser focused on retaining the gold and not just walking away with his World Heavyweight title, but showing Bron Breakker an ounce of respect tonight. Drew McIntyre was caught off guard a number of weeks ago when Bron Breakker turned his back on the champ. McIntyre retaliated 7 days later with a pair of Claymore kicks to his challenger. And what about what happened just 48 hours ago on SmackDown? Bron Breakker, spine buster to the champion, straight through the announce table. And that was, of course, coming moments after yet another victory for the young man in Bron Breakker. You gotta wonder the condition of the World Heavyweight Champion tonight. We know that his heart is in it. We know that his mind is laser focused. But at the end of the day, will McIntyre's body be able to keep up after Bron Breakker laid waste to the champion just 48 hours ago? It is a big fight feel, as quite frankly it has been all night long here at the Rogers Arena. Dare I say, this has been the biggest, this has been the best live premiere event, not just of the season, but in Noah Nation Gaming Universe Mode history so far tonight. And it's only going to get better as the Friday Night SmackDown main event is about to be served. Drew McIntyre won the gold back at WrestleMania. He retained it last month at Backlash in a Match of the Year candidate against John Cena. But will he get through the young, hungry Bron Breakker tonight? Will Bron Breakker be leaving the new World Champion?
Introducing the challenger from Woodstock, Georgia, weighing in at 230 pounds, Bron Breakker. And his opponent from Ayr, Scotland, weighing in at 254 pounds, he is the World Heavyweight Champion, the Scottish Warrior, Drew McIntyre.
It is the blue chipper in Bron Breakker. There's quite frankly a thoroughbred in Drew McIntyre. And there is the gold that is at stake. Is this the closest Bron Breakker is going to get to said gold, or will he be leaving with it wrapped around his waist tonight? The Friday Night SmackDown main event is right here upon us in Vancouver. Bron Breakker, his biggest match of his career, his very first opportunity at Drew McIntyre. McIntyre looking for his pound of flesh, and we are underway. It's going to be a big match. Oh, wait a minute, Bron Breakker trying to score the victory early here, taking the big man off his feet, but McIntyre is not going to go down without a shot in hell. It'll be very interesting to see how this match progresses. As we mentioned, it has been chaos and disorder trying to keep these two men apart, which quite frankly, nobody has been able to keep these two men apart the last number of weeks on SmackDown. It has been shots from behind, just like you saw from Drew McIntyre right there. And now McIntyre muscling up the challenger, which is no easy task. Heavyweight to heavyweight off that powerbomb. As we mentioned, Drew McIntyre winning the World Heavyweight Championship back in February at WrestleMania, defeating Seth Rollins in the main event. He earned that opportunity, outlasting 5 other SmackDown superstars back in January inside the Elimination Chamber. Of course, just last month, Drew McIntyre, John Cena tearing down the house at Backlash for the World Heavyweight title. McIntyre retaining the gold, and Bron Breakker sidestepped and crashed and burned by the challenger. Bron has used that over-the-top rope leap in recent weeks on Dolph Ziggler, aiding him in victory, but McIntyre clearly has been paying attention to Bron Breakker's arsenal. And the very interesting part about this match is certainly going to be the veteran experience of McIntyre compared to Bron Breakker, who has been in main events before, just not on Raw or SmackDown, excuse me. McIntyre pummeling the challenger at ringside. McIntyre has been waiting for this for weeks to teach Bron Breakker a lesson in respect. Remember what McIntyre said? He said, "You could have just asked if you wanted a world championship match." McIntyre's been a fighting champion, and he certainly would have awarded a man who has been undefeated since joining SmackDown. But Bron Breakker chose the road he chose, and he's going to have to face the consequences tonight and possibly come up short off an angry Drew McIntyre. But Bron right now, what a suplex on the outside. Blue chipper athlete, former 2-time NXT champion, has already made waves in his young career on NXT and SmackDown, and what a win it could be tonight for Breakker, stepping into the biggest match of his career, live premiere event, Vancouver, Canada, and walks away with the rich prize of the World Heavyweight Championship. Gold that has been in his family before. Of course, Scott Steiner, a former World Heavyweight Champion. Imagine if Bron Breakker can add to that family lineage and win the big gold belt again. McIntyre trying to get back into this, but a nice slam by Breakker, like him or not. Bron Breakker getting caught by Drew McIntyre. McIntyre, if there's one thing we know about the champion, is that he's resilient as all hell. And he's going to keep swinging until there's absolutely nothing left in the tank. McIntyre knows what it's like to be on the losing end. He spent the better part of 2022 coming up short in these types of matches. Big fight feels, and McIntyre's not looking to feel that again. Look at this, Kimura lock by Drew McIntyre. A submission hold, rare out of the arsenal of Drew, but Bron Breakker able to escape it. There's one thing Drew McIntyre usually has in these matchups. Wait a minute here, belly to belly on Breakker. McIntyre usually has the strength advantage. I don't know if it's the same tonight, but McIntyre successfully goes to the air on the challenger. Braun went for a similar dive earlier, crashed and burned, and McIntyre, that's that experience we were talking about, knew when to throw in that tope and healer over the top rope, and he landed it flush. It was a ginormous competitor landing on you at ringside. That is not going to do Breakker any good if this match nears championship rounds. Braun Breakker has shown signs of life in this matchup, has proved himself as a worthy challenger, but Drew McIntyre has really got an answer for a lot of Braun's offense so far in this contest. Nice scoop and a slam by the challenger. Will that do it? Not just yet. We saw how much offense Drew McIntyre withstood back at Backlash against John Cena. You remember that attitude adjustment through the announce table? McIntyre still survived that, but will he survive the onslaught of Breakker tonight? And as we mentioned just 48 hours ago on SmackDown, Braun Breakker with that spine buster through the announce table. Gotta wonder how the rib cage and the entire back of McIntyre is feeling after that. And Breakker, Frankensteiner from the top rope, a move that his family helped make famous. To win the title now. Vancouver, Canada coming unglued for these two SmackDown All-Stars. World Heavyweight Championships on the line. There's a sidestep by McIntyre. We've been getting served restaurant quality contest all night long here at Vengeance. It is continuing right here in your Friday night SmackDown portion of the main event. Braun into the cover off another moonsault, but McIntyre again kicks out. As we mentioned on multiple occasions, Braun Breakker's biggest match of his career. You gotta wonder if there's any nerves in Braun Breakker tonight. He's certainly not going to show them, but he's going to make costly missteps like that. Going to the well way too many times off that moonsault, and it absolutely cost him. McIntyre now back on the offense. And again for Drew, it's all about teaching Braun Breakker some respect. That's the underlining factor, on top of course, retaining his World Heavyweight Championship. Drew McIntyre's been in Braun Breakker's situation, a young superstar with loads of promise and an attitude a mile long, looking to be the main event. And McIntyre's trying to show Braun Breakker that there's another way to achieve your dreams. And Drew's trying to do that by tapping out Braun Breakker right now, but Breakker again able to escape that Kimura lock. Drew McIntyre adding some submission holds, definitely some harder to escape maneuvers. Wait a minute, Drew! Future shock DDT on Braun Breakker! Drew McIntyre laying out Braun, but not going for the cover as he wants to put the final nail in Braun Breakker's opportunity tonight. Goes for the Claymore, but Braun Breakker had it scouted. At least for a moment there, McIntyre, you see the hurry-up offense by the World Heavyweight Champion. That was a big sidestep by Braun Breakker. Remember, McIntyre laid out the challenger with not one but two Claymore kicks a few weeks ago on SmackDown. Tonight, he had the maneuver scouted. Will this be Braun Breakker's chance to capitalize on that reversal and try to become the World Heavyweight Champion? Muscles up McIntyre, and down to the canvas he goes. Will the Blue Chipper be able to outrun the thoroughbred of SmackDown tonight and become the new face of Friday nights? We will find out in moments here at Vengeance. And now Braun, look at this. Camel clutch on the World Heavyweight Champion. And with the unknown condition of the spine and the back of Drew McIntyre, this has got to hurt a whole lot of hell. Oh, wait a minute. McIntyre. Nice elbow strike there and takes Braun Breakker off his feet. Drew McIntyre's had an answer for Braun tonight. It's been back and forth for the majority of this contest. But I would say Drew McIntyre has been in control more often than not. Braun is dazed again. McIntyre went to the well a second time off that dive. This time Braun Breakker saw it coming a mile away. A rare error out of the World Heavyweight Champion Drew McIntyre. And now Braun's looking to take advantage on the outskirts of the ring. Sits out with it and down goes Drew. Drew McIntyre may have costed himself his own World Heavyweight Championship, trying to take things to the air yet again, but never count out the World Heavyweight Champion Drew McIntyre. Look at this. Look at the strength of the Scottish Warrior there. Turning into a backbreaker on the challenger. McIntyre sending Braun Breaker back into the ring. These two bulls have been clashing from bell to bell, from pillar to post so far, back and forth the majority of this contest. You gotta be nearing an end. You gotta believe there's only so much of this high intensity offense that you could dish out and also take in return before your body starts to fail on you. And Braun Breaker able to kick out, but how much more does the challenger and quite frankly the champion still have left? Another scoop slam by Breaker as Vancouver giving SmackDown superstars their appreciation tonight. Oh, wait a minute, Braun. They've been looking for a belly-to-belly there, and another counter by McIntyre. Just a closed fist by Drew. Drew McIntyre. Look at this, the ground and pound on Braun. Looking to teach the young man a lesson in respect he won't soon forget tonight. McIntyre, as we mentioned, trying to show Braun Breaker that there's another way to achieve your dreams. There's another way to make your way to the main event of WWE and be a champion. And it's not by cowardly acts, attacks from behind. McIntyre, look at this. Pedal to the metal right there. The throw on Breaker, the World Heavyweight Champion, has got Vancouver rallied behind him right now. Counter by Breaker, and almost a jawbreaker to Drew. Could the World Championship be changing hands in a matter of moments? We're going to find out. Another reversal by Braun Breaker has led him to some momentum here, but Drew McIntyre not one to give up without a fight, as we have talked about all throughout tonight and all throughout his championship reign. Down goes the challenger again. Braun Breaker may be getting exposed right now under the bright lights of the main event. The biggest stage of his career. Braun Breaker may have bit off more than he can chew with the World Heavyweight Champion, Drew McIntyre. I think McIntyre's trying to show Breaker that he was not ready for the spotlight, that he was not ready for the main event, and Drew is looking to teach this young man a lesson he won't soon forget. A Claymore kick. This time, it nails flush. Drew McIntyre retains the World Heavyweight title. Thanks for coming, Braun Breaker. You can't say the young man didn't put a target on his own back, and tonight McIntyre hit the target dead on and is leaving Vancouver with the championship gold.
Here is your winner, and still World Heavyweight Champion, the Scottish Warrior, Drew McIntyre.
The former two-time NXT champion has been impressive, but if tonight showed anything, it's that Braun Breaker has got a lot to learn in his WWE career, and that it comes to stepping up to a man like Drew McIntyre, to try to step up to the main event scene, live to fight another day, because right now we are living in the era of the Scottish Warrior. Drew McIntyre made his way through WrestleMania, has retained against John Cena, against Braun Breaker, and McIntyre is on top of the world, on top of Friday Night SmackDown as the face of the blue brand, and is leaving Vancouver, Canada in vengeance, still your World Heavyweight Champion. That victory after everything McIntyre's been through these last few weeks has gotta feel good.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the World Heavyweight Championship.
It is main event time from the Wells Fargo Center, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Sunday night, June the 18th, 2023, the King of the Ring, the Challenger, the Hall of Famer, the Rated R Superstar, the Ultimate Opportunist, the #1 contender, Edge has arrived. I got goosebumps in the lead up to this main event matchup. You want to talk about big title fights, legendary nights we will never forget. Edge looking for yet another World Heavyweight Championship. And the man opposing him, one of the most unstoppable forces in recent memory. The man who outlasted some of the best in this business throughout this year to be in the spot he is today, the World Heavyweight Champion Drew McIntyre. This is a true clash of titans on behalf of Friday Night SmackDown in your main event. Edge is locked and loaded. He's ready for a hockey fight in the city of Philly. But this man, the Scottish Warrior, this fire-breathing son of a bitch, locked and loaded and ready to defend his World Heavyweight Championship on the ultimate battlefield at any and all cost. You want to look for a superstar. You want to look for a man who is the pinnacle of this business. Look no further than the World Heavyweight Champion, Drew McIntyre. We said it before tonight. We have said it all throughout tonight. It is evenings like tonight where superstars are made, where legends are created. When the opportunity shines brighter than ever, who rises to the occasion? Who seizes the moment? McIntyre and Edge find themselves in that same predicament yet another time in their career. The champion, the challenger, and an unwielding drive to be the best of the best. And that is the goal that is at stake. The legendary, prestigious, big gold belt, the World Heavyweight Championship, in the spotlight it deserves, in the main event, here tonight at King of the Ring. It is time for your main event in Philadelphia. Let's send things down to the ring for your official World Heavyweight Championship match introductions.
Introducing the challenger from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, weighing in at 249 pounds, Edge! And his opponent from Ayr, Scotland, weighing in at 254 pounds, he is the World Heavyweight Champion, the Scottish Warrior, Drew McIntyre.
It is main event time from Friday Night SmackDown. The World Heavyweight Championship is on the line. It is the chosen one, the man who has held the gold since Saturday night, February 25th at WrestleMania, handing the title over for the last time. The Rated R Superstar has held that very title many a times before. Will he do it again on this monumental night? The bell has sounded and we are underway with this clash of all-stars in your main event. Edge versus Drew McIntyre. And an interesting note here, as the last time these two men went one-on-one, it was last April on Monday Night Raw in a Money in the Bank qualifying matchup. And the man who walked away the victor on that night was the Rated R Superstar Edge. Will that play into the psyche of Drew McIntyre in this match? Does Edge know McIntyre better than he knows himself? Another interesting note to make is that even though Edge has been 2-0 since joining Friday Night SmackDown yet again in that blockbuster trade, the last time we saw Edge on a big live premiere pay-per-view event was WrestleMania Sunday, when he teamed with AJ Styles to take on Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, and Edge lost on that night. Is Edge's return to the big stage, Edge's return to the main event, will that recent loss play into the psyche of the Rated R Superstar? All remains to be seen. In this business, you gotta have a short-term memory. You can't hang your hat on those losses. You really gotta cut your losses, move on, and live to fight another day. These two men know that very well. That's the reason they are among some of the best in this business. Not only today, but of all time. Only one man can be the man. Only one man can hold the gold. We're gonna find out who that is tonight. They were just 48 hours ago in Washington, D.C. McIntyre and Edge standing side by side in a tag team victory over Robert Roode and Jinder Mahal. But the story really told moments after the bell when Edge dropped Drew McIntyre with not one, but 2 spears in the middle of that ring, sending a message that respect was going out the door and everything was going to be on the line this Sunday night. I'm sure McIntyre has not forgotten about those 2 spears. I'm sure Drew McIntyre is seeking a receipt tonight. Boots scrape in the corner, going for the early pinfall. On the Ultimate Opportunist, but Edge kicked out. Edge returned to Friday Night SmackDown and went right for the jugular. Went face to face with McIntyre and called his shot. Drew McIntyre wants the best of the best. He wants to fight any and all challengers. Well, he certainly has an ultimate opportunity to make a name for himself, if you will, when it comes to being amongst the greats of all time. Look at this, the strength out of McIntyre, muscling up Edge into the powerbomb. It was documented in that video package moments ago. Drew McIntyre's had one hell of a 2023 as Edge counters it out and sends McIntyre for a ride. McIntyre outlasted 5 other superstars back in January in the Elimination Chamber. Took down Seth Rollins in the main event of WrestleMania Saturday. Had a match of the year clinic in April at Backlash against John Cena. And just, oh man! Excuse my cutoff. Edge going over the top rope, but a crash and burn as McIntyre sidestepped him. Oh, that is not gonna be well for Edge in the later rounds of this matchup. And McIntyre shoving it in his face that time. Delivers what Edge wanted to do over the top and down to the ground. Oh, Edge has got to be feeling it. A crash and burn followed up by a near 300-pounder in McIntyre coming down on you. Edge trying to get fired up here. Trying to get back into this matchup off that costly misstep. Edge has got to remain focused. Even though Drew McIntyre, no stranger to the big-time main events, no stranger to the big title fights, if you will. If you want to look at the record books, Edge has definitely been here more times. I wonder if that will play in to the result of this contest tonight. There's one thing we know for sure is that there is respect between these 2 men. They know how that each of them can get it done inside of the ring. It is not an impossible defeat for one to defeat the other. But at the end of the day, it is any means necessary to leave Philadelphia the World Heavyweight Champion. McIntyre down and out, and Edge, look at this. We said hockey fight. We're in the home of the Philadelphia Flyers. Edge sporting the colors tonight, the black and orange. And looking for a Pier 6 hockey brawl with the Scottish Warrior. Into the ropes he goes, and another kick takes down the champion. Rated R superstar picking apart McIntyre, going after the legs, going after the back, the ribs, the head, trying to take out any body part of McIntyre to throw him off his game. Take away the legs, you take away the claymore. You take away the arms, you take away the power. Edge has watched long and hard McIntyre be among the best in this business over the last couple of months. Edge has done his homework coming in to this main event tonight. No doubt about it. Right now, he is picking apart the World Heavyweight Champion. Oh, wait a minute, kick to the gut. Execution! Into the cover to win the big gold belt. McIntyre kicks out, but a close call for the Rated R Superstar. Nearly winning the World Heavyweight Championship off the execution, but not enough to keep the Scottish Warrior down. McIntyre outlasted the young, the hungry Braun Breaker last month at Vengeance, but will he be able to survive the spear of Edge? There it is! Into the cover to win the championship. No, McIntyre kicks out. The 3rd spear in 48 hours that McIntyre has felt at the wrath of the Rated R Superstar, but it's not enough to keep down this fire-breathing son of a bitch. And Edge continuing on the offense. No stranger to not getting the result he wants the first time around. Edge has been here before, and I'm sure he'll be here again. Edge trying to keep the offense going, but McIntyre knows that he cannot allow that. Oh, now look at this. Drew McIntyre up in the ante. Nothing pretty, just physical. Beaten down on Edge, trying to stomp out the heart, stomp out the soul of the Rated R Superstar. Now here's the muscle of McIntyre. Hard to find a man stronger than Drew as he takes Edge for an amusement park ride. The ground and pound again on the Rated R Superstar. Oh, I believe Edge might have been cut open off those bare knuckle shots. Edge wanted a hockey fight. McIntyre's giving it to him. And that is not going to go well for Edge as we get into the later rounds of this matchup. The blood will affect the endurance. The blood will affect the psyche. It'll allow Edge to not make the right decisions. It'll tire Edge out faster. Edge has got to feel a sense of urgency as McIntyre catches him with the spine buster. Like a shark in the water that smells the blood. Into the cover, but Edge kicks out. Close call there for the Ultimate Opportunist. Now McIntyre bringing this fight to the outskirts of the squared circle. Rated R Superstar down again. Slow to get to his feet as McIntyre is on his tail. Going for the axe hammer. Edge outrunning him that time on the apron and delivers one of his own to the shoulder blades of Drew. Now Edge going after the champion. But McIntyre giving Edge the fight he wants here in Philadelphia. My goodness, but it just took the head off the shoulders of the challenger. A clothesline heard round the world. And oh no. Well, McIntyre was about to start taking apart our announce table. Edge obviously not going to allow that. And a power bomb on the apron. My goodness. Violence and brutality from the champion and the challenger. And somehow these two men, as tough as nails, letting adrenaline flow them through the main event, continue to fight. Edge on the outside, trying to get to his feet. McIntyre back inside the ring, goes for the clothesline again, misses. Now starting to unload on the Rated R Superstar. A nice counter there by Edge. You are witnessing one hell of a main event on what has been a legendary night here in Philadelphia. The crimson mask being sported by the Ultimate Opportunist. But will Edge be able to fight through the pain and become the World Heavyweight Champion? Oh, look at this, look at the strength out of Edge. At this point in the matchup, the endurance has got to be taken out of Edge. How much does he have left in the tank? Clearly enough to muscle up McIntyre, but only for a short being. And Drew with the neck breaker. Surgically repaired neck of Edge, that's not gonna go well. And McIntyre, give me a kiss off the Glasgow, into the cover. No! Glasgow kiss delivered to the Crimson Mask, but not enough as Edge continues to fight, but rolls to the outside, trying to survive, trying to catch a breath and get back into the main event, but McIntyre takes it to the air again. Good God, what a main event. Edge to his feet, but only at the hands of the champion. Drew McIntyre trying to keep the offense going, but there's Edge. Things are starting to break down here at ringside. Referee's at a count of 4, I believe. Again, Edge cannot win the World Championship via countout, but can certainly take a number on the World Champion on the outside of the ring. Now a kick. What the hell does Edge have in mind? Oh! Oh! Canadian Destroyer! On the outside of the ring! And Edge is not done unleashing a warpath on Drew McIntyre. The Rated R Superstar has come for hell and back tonight. And a power bomb. The strength, the will, the heart to leave World Heavyweight Champion. And Drew McIntyre may be hurt like he's never been hurt before. And for the real, I don't want to say that he hasn't been in a predicament, but this may be the worst predicament McIntyre has been in the midst of his World Championship reign thus far. McIntyre is hurt, he is down, and Edge has got the champion right where he wants him. They don't call him the ultimate opportunist for nothing, but McIntyre trying to survive. Into the ring post goes Edge. Don't know if he got all of it there, but certainly got enough. And now into the announce table. Oh no. Oh no. The wheels are spinning of the Scottish Warrior. You gotta be kidding me here. On the shoulders. Crash landing. Holy hell. Edge is laid to waste. You have gotta be kidding me. Edge is out through the table. McIntyre said, you want to fight? I'll give you war. In the ring goes Edge. McIntyre on his tail. Claymore. Cover. No. Edge kicked out. We are witnessing an all-timer for the World Heavyweight Championship. By God, what a main event. Who wants it more? Who wants to be the man? Who wants to hold the gold? Into the ropes again. McIntyre pulls him in instead with a tilt-a-whirl. Edge kicked out, but for how much longer? Edge survived, but for how much longer? Through the announce table, the Claymore, not enough. McIntyre drops the leg across the throat. If a man can't breathe, he can't fight. But Edge certainly has got breath left in his lungs. He's got blood pumping through the veins, and he's got one more spear left to deliver, but a counter by Drew. McIntyre countered Edge's best shot. And Edge looks to be spent. McIntyre looking to seek on a fallen prey. Edge is down and out. McIntyre trying to keep this going. But how much does Drew have left in the tank? It's one thing to endure everything Edge is thrown at McIntyre and all the offense McIntyre has delivered. Vice versa. Both these men have got to be running on E. Whipping Edge into the corner. McIntyre. Edge avoids it. And somehow Edge is still fighting. I don't know how the hell Edge has still got fight left in him, and a punt kick. And into the upper deck goes the brain cells of the World Heavyweight Champion. Claymore! Out of nowhere! For the second time! And that'll do it! Whew, what a main event! Drew McIntyre outlasts the Hall of Famer in a goddamn all-timer for the World Heavyweight Championship.
Here is your winner, and still World Heavyweight Champion, the Scottish Warrior, Drew McIntyre.
That is what it is all about. You want to be the man, you gotta show up, you gotta fight, you gotta outlast the best, you gotta go through hell and come out on the other side. And the Scottish Warrior, Drew McIntyre, has prevailed yet again and is leaving Philadelphia still the face of Friday nights, still the man on the blue brand, still your World Heavyweight Champion. What a main event. What an evening. Sunday night, June the 18th, a legendary night here at King of the Ring. We want to thank you for joining us all week long, a part of the biggest week in Universe Mode history. And there is no slowing down as we will be back tomorrow night for Monday Night Raw. Main event time for the Nationwide Arena in Columbus, Ohio at the 2023 Money in the Bank.
The following contest is a triple threat match and is for the World Heavyweight Championship. Introducing the challenger from St. Louis, Missouri, weighing in at 250 pounds, the Viper, Randy Orton.
Randy Orton slithered like the Viper he is into a World Heavyweight Championship match here tonight. When Drew McIntyre was least expecting it, when his back was turned, he was ambushed by Randy Orton, who used McIntyre's own World Championship against the skull of the Scottish Warrior, calling his shot, throwing down the gauntlet, and establishing himself as a challenger for the World Heavyweight title. Unfortunately for Randy Orton, his one-on-one matchup becoming a triple threat affair when the Rated R superstar Edge pinned Austin Theory and then pinned Randy Orton a week later on SmackDown, making this a triple threat match for the World Heavyweight title. Randy Orton, of course, can't be happy about that decision, but is not going to pass up the opportunity to win championship gold yet again. This is a man who dominated Monday Night Raw for upwards of half a year as the WWE Champion from November at Survivor Series to the end of February at WrestleMania. Could Randy Orton be nearing another win, nearing another top spot in the main event as the WWE World Heavyweight Champion? Or could it be the ultimate opportunist? The Rated R Superstar, looking to secure another World Championship reign in his already Hall of Fame career. He may have fallen short at King of the Ring, but Edge knows Money in the Bank very well, and the ultimate opportunist looking to seize the day.
And introducing the challenger from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, weighing in at 249 pounds.
It was 1 year ago at Money in the Bank when Edge took down the briefcase and cashed it in a month later successfully to become the WWE Champion. Who did Edge end up losing that championship to? Well, that is the man who awaits the winner of this at SummerSlam, Austin Theory. Of course, Edge would win back the WWE title only to fall to Randy Orton at Survivor Series just a month later. Edge and Randy Orton, two very formidable challengers. But this man has been on top of the mountain of Friday Night SmackDown as the World Heavyweight Champion ever since WrestleMania Saturday. And quite frankly, Drew McIntyre has been on top of the blue brand for all of 2023. But will it be Edge or Randy Orton derailing the Scottish Warrior and taking away the big gold belt here tonight?
And introducing the champion from Ayr, Scotland, weighing in at 254 pounds. He is the World Heavyweight Champion, the Scottish Warrior, Drew McIntyre.
Drew McIntyre has been on top of the world, but is his momentum about to come to a screeching halt tonight in Columbus as Friday Night SmackDown takes center stage in the main event of Money in the Bank? It is a triple threat affair. No countouts, no disqualifications, one fall to a finish for that beautiful big gold World Heavyweight Championship. Seth Rollins, John Cena, Braun Breaker, and Edge himself have fallen in championship defenses of Drew McIntyre. But Edge with another opportunity. Randy Orton, a man who knows McIntyre very well. The stage is set for this ultimate collision. Chaos has been the word of the evening, and I think some more is about to ensue before our very eyes. That is the gold that is at stake. Hoisted high in the sky. Randy Orton, Edge, and Drew McIntyre for the World Heavyweight title. The bell has sounded and your main event in Columbus is underway. Edge and Randy Orton with so much history with each other that has been reignited over the last number of weeks. And Drew McIntyre looking to turn away possibly his biggest challenge yet tonight. You see right there a perfect example of why this triple threat is going to be so dangerous to Drew McIntyre's World Heavyweight Championship reign. Back turned at least for a moment to focus on Edge, and Randy Orton struck. And you gotta wonder, as you just saw right there, almost some unintentional teamwork between Edge and Randy Orton, and even though the battle continues between those two men, you gotta wonder if the pairing of Edge and Orton, formerly known as Rated RKO, is going to reignite in a sense tonight and try to take out the champion. Of course, there's a lot of bad blood between Edge and Randy Orton over the years, dating recently, most recently back to November at Survivor Series when they fought inside Hell in the Cell. And then, as we mentioned just 2 weeks ago on SmackDown, Edge defeating Randy Orton in singles action. All remains to be seen how this main event is going to play out, but certainly a big fight feel. And it's moments like this when there's a superstar on the outside of the ring where the superstars inside of the ring may want to try to take advantage. Speaking of taking advantage, Randy Orton knows this matchup is being contested under no disqualifications, and Edge with his back turn gets met with a steel chair. Anything goes in a triple threat match for the world title. But Edge's not going to take that one lying down. And again, some more dangers of the triple threat. So hard to secure even a 1 count in this match when there's another pair of legs moving. Gotta have eyes in the back of your head. Gotta watch your back to the best of your abilities in a matchup like this. And McIntyre, the biggest situation for Drew tonight is that this historic reign, this dominating run at the top of SmackDown for Drew McIntyre as the World Heavyweight Champion could come to a close without him even having to be involved in the decision. Edge could pin Randy Orton could pin Edge, and Drew McIntyre loses the World Heavyweight Championship. Those are the dangers of this triple threat matchup tonight. Randy Orton and Edge using that steel chair certainly as a prop in this contest, but Drew McIntyre showing that he's only focused on using the left and the right to try to defeat the Rated R superstar. And McIntyre showcasing his strength right there. Edge and McIntyre, of course, fought just 5 weeks ago at the King of the Ring, where McIntyre retained the World Championship over Edge. Randy Orton and McIntyre no strangers to each other either. Just a few years ago, had several wars over the WWE Championship. Now all three of these past crossing for the most prestigious prize on Friday nights yet again tonight. McIntyre taking out Orton from behind. Wait a minute, the Rated R superstar. Look at the power of Edge to muscle up. What is that, the 285-pounder in Drew McIntyre? My goodness. Edge showcasing his strength right there. Any means necessary, digging down deep to win the world title tonight. Now Randy Orton again using that chair over the skull of the Rated R superstar. And now McIntyre's got a hold of steel. McIntyre with a steel chair in hand. That may be the most dangerous you can possibly get. And now he's got it in position. And McIntyre, look at the strength out of the champion. Down goes Randy Orton, and he caught some of the chair on the way. And Edge back inside the ring. And now Randy Orton back to his feet. And the momentum is constantly going to be played hot potato in a sense in this matchup, because nobody's going to be able to stay on top. Edge down, look at that, just for a moment, and then we're back to a triple threat. That is what makes a triple threat match so difficult to win. Randy Orton taking out the champion, now focusing on the Rated R superstar. Edge is always up for a battle against Randy Orton, a man who has done him very wrong over the years. especially the man who took away the WWE Championship all the way back in November at Survivor Series. Edge got a measure of revenge finally over the last few weeks on SmackDown, but what more satisfying way to stick it to Randy Orton than to win the World Heavyweight Championship tonight? I believe Drew McIntyre may have been busted open on that headbutt by Edge, and that is not going to go well for the Scottish Warrior. We saw Matt Riddle overcome the odds moments ago, rocking the crimson mask and still able to survive Karrion Kross's WWE Championship pursuit. But it's Drew McIntyre, with even higher stakes in this match with not one but two challengers, going to be able to outlast the target that is on his head right now. Meanwhile, McIntyre going after Orton, all the while Edge is bringing in more destruction into this match with those steel steps. And Edge comes from behind. Three-way at its finest. McIntyre didn't even see it coming. Randy Orton and Edge really focused on each other throughout this matchup. The personal vendetta will never be settled between the Viper and the Rated R Superstar. Drew McIntyre back inside the fray. And Randy Orton counters it out and buckles the knee of the World Heavyweight Champion. Now again, Edge and Orton focusing on McIntyre, and down goes the champion. They know what they are up against tonight, and a man who has turned away some of the best over the last few months in Drew McIntyre, a man who outlasted 5 other superstars earlier this year inside Elimination Chamber. Randy Orton throwing some live rounds against the World Heavyweight Champion. Remember, this was originally supposed to be a one-on-one affair between Orton and McIntyre before Edge got involved. Oh my goodness! Canadian Destroyer by Edge to Randy Orton to win the title, not just yet. How close was that? Edge pulling out all the stops, any means necessary to become the World Heavyweight Champion. And he takes down the champion himself and now into a cover to win the title, and Randy Orton breaking things up. And tensions riding a high in this match. Oh, wait a minute. Randy Orton looking to strike while the iron's hot. The elevated DDT off the middle rope. Drew McIntyre in, dropping the headbutt on the Viper. And the tolls of war starting to be paid. Give me a kiss, a Glasgow kiss to Randy Orton, but Edge breaks it up. And correct me if I'm wrong, but is Edge also trickling some blood over the forehead? I'm not sure when that happened. It might have been off the DDT, might have been earlier. But Edge is also showcasing some signs of war tonight. It shows you the measures that these 3 men are willing to go to leave as the World Heavyweight Champion. Randy Orton to the outside, Edge on his tail. McIntyre left the sole superstar inside of the ring. Wait a minute, Edge has got another steel chair, looking to use it against Orton, but Orton having none of it. And things breaking down on the outside of the ring, and Randy Orton sending Edge for a ride. Man, we're not going to have a voice the time we get to Cleveland, Ohio for Monday Night Raw tomorrow night. There's Randy Orton back inside of the ring, and down goes Drew. And Edge from behind. It's a testament to the toughness of these 3 superstars as they're still standing in this contest as Orton muscles up Edge, but there's a counter and plants him with the DDT. Now McIntyre in, and Edge could be going for a Canadian Destroyer this time on Drew McIntyre. Folded him up like an accordion. And went to attack the Viper, but Randy Orton had it scouted. And the Apex Predator, RKO, to win the title. Oh, and McIntyre breaking things up. How close was that? How close to a new World Heavyweight Champion? Randy Orton, a second away from becoming the champion without even having to pin Drew McIntyre. Luckily, Drew saving his own title. Orton with the RKO on Edge was about to spell the end of this matchup. But now Edge back to his feet. McIntyre's down. Orton's down. And I hate to keep repeating myself, but it's the word of the night. Chaos continuing to pursue in this match, and McIntyre takes it to the sky. Randy Orton down and out on the outside, and Drew McIntyre, that fire-breathing dragon, is fired up. Clearing off the announce table, double knobbing knocker by Randy Orton. Not gonna allow a double team out of Drew and Edge. Randy Orton trying to eliminate the opponents one by a piece tonight. McIntyre up against the barricade, and Randy Orton muscling up Edge, and a buckle, or excuse me, an apron bomb, and sends him into the side as well. Man, how are these men gonna survive in this matchup as McIntyre lays out Orton with a spine buster? Again, it just shows you the toughness of these three superstars. The will to succeed, the will to be World Heavyweight Champion, and on top of Friday Night SmackDown. This has been a war of all wars, and McIntyre continuing this onslaught on Randy Orton. Meanwhile, Edge joining the fray. Some unintentional rated RKO action at ringside. Don't expect that to last too long, as Randy Orton still working over Drew McIntyre, now turns his sights to the Rated R superstar. Gotta wonder, what is it gonna take to keep one of these men down for a 3 count after the war we are witnessing here tonight at the Nationwide Arena in Columbus, Ohio. McIntyre just squashing Edge in the corner. Wait a minute, Orton down on the outside. McIntyre's got an opportunity to strike, heading to the top and dropping the elbow on Edge. Drew McIntyre's got to capitalize. Edge is weary. And Drew dropping him with the shoulder. Randy Orton back into the ring, looking to sneak up on McIntyre like the snake he is. You see McIntyre, Randy Orton with those simple yet effective face scrapes to the nose, to the bloody forehead of Drew. It's absolutely just taken any bit of life left out of the World Heavyweight Champion. Again, just a closed fist. Edge back inside the squared circle. The Rated R superstar catching Randy Orton with a scoop and a slam. McIntyre with a swinging neck breaker. The world champion, the only man standing, at least for a moment. Wait a minute. RKO to Drew McIntyre to win the world title. No, McIntyre kicks out. And Edge is back to his feet. But Randy Orton looking to strike. McIntyre's down. The RKO takes out the champion. The DDT takes out the other challenger. But McIntyre takes out Orton. You gotta be kidding me. How close to a new World Heavyweight Champion could you possibly get? Now Edge to his feet, barely. McIntyre assuring Edge is gonna stay lying down on the canvas. And the World Heavyweight Champion trying his best to get back in. But his challengers are giving him a run for his money that I don't know if he was prepared for tonight. Somehow these three men are still fighting. McIntyre, nice counter on Randy. Oh, but Edge comes from behind and drops the world champion on the back of his neck. Randy Orton's dazed. McIntyre on the outside. Spear! A spear by Edge! And Edge used the same move to beat Randy Orton 2 weeks ago on SmackDown, but Randy Orton kicks out tonight. A close call for the Rated R superstar. And you know, as we just mentioned, Edge pinned Randy Orton 2 weeks ago. 3 weeks ago, he pinned Austin Theory. And just 48 hours ago, Edge, with the same spear, pinned Braun Breaker. A lot of momentum for the Rated R superstar coming into this matchup tonight. Randy with not one but 2 RKOs, and we're still fighting. Edge with the spear on Orton, and the matchup progresses. These guys are throwing their best shots, yet we have yet to hear a bell. Edge laying out Orton, but Drew's gonna come from behind, and down goes Edge. And remember what lies in wait for these superstars. Whoever leaves Columbus tonight as World Heavyweight Champion, is going right to the SmackDown main event in Levi Stadium, San Francisco, California on Sunday night, August the 20th at SummerSlam to defend the title against the 2023 King of the Ring winner, All Day Austin Theory. Theory's got to be chomping at the bit just as we are to see who's going to be making their way to Levi Stadium next month to meet him for the title. McIntyre's a bloody mess down the canvas, and Edge coming from the top. But there's a cold-hearted son of a bitch in Randy Orton awaiting Edge, who drops him with a simple yet effective neckbreaker. This is where Randy Orton's got to take advantage. The world champion stirring on the outside. Randy Orton continuing the onslaught on Edge. Oh, wait a minute, McIntyre's got himself a steel chair right now. McIntyre's got himself a chair. Wait a minute, Randy Orton, a punt kick to Edge. And McIntyre using the chair to break up the pinfall. Orton get rid of the chair. Claymore! Out of nowhere! Chaos, disorder, and a Claymore, and that'll do it! My God, what a main event! And after a hellacious war, Drew McIntyre stands atop the world and is still the World Heavyweight Champion. What a battle here tonight.
Here is your winner, and still World Heavyweight Champion, the Scottish Warrior, Drew McIntyre.
Seth Rollins, John Cena, Braun Breaker, Edge, Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre is among the best of the best. The Scottish Warrior on top of the world, and this fire-breathing son of a bitch outlasts a war of all wars, leaving the Nationwide Arena still the face of Friday nights and your World Heavyweight Champion. I don't know if Austin Theory is ready for what is coming to him. Full steam ahead on Sunday night, August the 20th at SummerSlam. But as for tonight, July the 16th, 2023, the reign of Drew McIntyre lives to fight on.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the World Heavyweight Championship.
It is Friday Night SmackDown's main event on the biggest stage of the summer. And it is time to party for the World Heavyweight Championship. The young star from A-Town, the 2023 King of the Ring winner, Austin Theory. You may not like his attitude, his ego, or his loud mouth, but you cannot knock the effort and certainly can't deny the results. Back in June, Austin Theory defeated Mustafa Ali, Dolph Ziggler, AJ Styles, and Shinsuke Nakamura to win the crown of the King and earn this main event match here tonight. On the other side of the ring is a man who has took on any and all challengers in Drew McIntyre. McIntyre has turned away some of the best this business has ever had to offer. But Austin Theory, a different challenge for Drew McIntyre. One of the fastest rising stars in all of WWE history may be the recipe that spells the end of McIntyre's legendary run as World Heavyweight Champion. But here comes the Scottish Warrior. Back at WrestleMania, Drew McIntyre won the World Heavyweight Championship. And week after week, month after month, McIntyre has defended it with pride, glory, and respect. Drew McIntyre has faced the best, has beaten the best, from John Cena to Seth Rollins to Braun Breaker to Edge and Randy Orton. McIntyre has put that world title on the line to any he deems necessary, and he has turned away the challengers. Tonight, McIntyre looks across the ring from a young, hungry Austin Theory who's looking to spoil his run at the top. That fire-breathing son of a bitch has been on the roll of a lifetime in 2023. But will McIntyre's luck run out tonight on this stage? Levi Stadium, San Francisco, California. McIntyre enters these hallowed halls, waving the flag of Friday Night SmackDown, but Austin Theory is hungry for McIntyre's spot and is willing to do anything to dethrone the Scottish Warrior. This is why you get into this business. This is why you work so hard, for moments like tonight, for matches like these. It is the Friday Night SmackDown main event on one of the biggest shows in the WWE calendar for the World Heavyweight Championship. Austin Theory, Drew McIntyre. Let's get it going here at Levi Stadium.
Introducing the challenger from Atlanta, Georgia, weighing in at 220 pounds, Austin Theory. And his opponent from Ayr, Scotland, weighing in at 254 pounds, he is the World Heavyweight Champion, the Scottish Warrior, Drew McIntyre.
The champion looks laser focused, but so does the challenger, who recognizes this is the biggest match of his career. It was a calendar year ago where Austin Theory was in the midst of a 1-month run as the WWE Champion. That was spoiled by the Rated R Superstar Edge, the same man who defeated Austin Theory 2 weeks ago on SmackDown. How will that play into Austin Theory's momentum and his mindset as this SmackDown main event kicks off here at SummerSlam? A whole lot of writing on this matchup between Theory and McIntyre's looking to show this young man that even though you're great, you aren't ready for this spotlight. McIntyre, World Heavyweight Champion, not looking to let up on his grasp of that title anytime soon. Got Austin Theory cornered early, and McIntyre looking to make waves in the early moments of this match. Drew is coming unglued. It did not take long for McIntyre to get fired up. He feels the magic of the moment. He feels the challenger on his neck tonight. And Drew McIntyre looking to teach him some respect. Michinoku driver, early cover. Only a 1 count there for the World Heavyweight Champion looking to retain his title. Austin Theory getting set over the top, and Drew McIntyre, oh, wait a minute, taking a page out of his friend Sheamus's book, 10 beats to the heart, to the wills, and to the dreams of Austin Theory. And down goes the King of the Ring winner. McIntyre is fired up. Wait a minute, McIntyre taking things to the air in the early going. The World Heavyweight Champion has got his foot on the gas pedal and is not looking to let up for young, hungry Austin Theory. Into another cover. McIntyre looking to make quick work of his challenger tonight, but got to give credit where it's due. Austin Theory did not come without a game plan. Austin Theory is not in this position for no reason. He has earned his right whether you like him or not. Beat 4 of the best in the business, from Mustafa Ali to Dolph Ziggler to AJ Styles to Rolls Shinsuke Nakamura in the finals all those months ago to win King of the Ring. Austin Theory defeated Cody Rhodes back at WrestleMania. Austin Theory, as we mentioned this time last year, was in the midst of a 1-month run as WWE Champion. By hook or by crook, a fluke or not, he held that gold, and he's looking to win gold 12 months later here at SummerSlam. This leg lock locked in on McIntyre, but I think Theory knows it's not going to make Drew give up so early. Austin Theory could be looking away looking to take away, I should say, the Claymore kick of McIntyre. Smart game plan, if that is the case, for the King of the Ring winner. Take out the leg. You might take out McIntyre's best weapon. Austin Theory going for an early cover. Maybe looking to give Drew McIntyre some of the same mind games back. McIntyre's looking for the early victory. And I think he knew he wasn't going to defeat Austin Theory. He's just trying to play into the psyche of the young man. McIntyre on the outside. Wait a minute, here comes Theory with a tope suicida through the ropes. A rare high-risk maneuver out of Austin Theory, but desperate times call for desperate measures, and Austin Theory's looking to leave with the championship tonight. Theory leaving it all out there in the early moments. Diving through the ropes, taking out the champion, and now sending McIntyre into the barricade. Austin Theory recognizes who he is dancing with tonight. One of the toughest to ever step foot inside the squared circle in Drew McIntyre. Austin Theory has watched from a distance McIntyre beat some of the best to ever do it over the last couple of months, from John Cena to Edge to Randy Orton, just to name a few. And Austin Theory knows he's got to bring his A game tonight if he wants to become the World Heavyweight Champion. Sending McIntyre all around ringside right now, and smart by Austin Theory to go break the count. Theory sending McIntyre back inside the ring and taking a moment to soak it all in here in Levi Stadium. Better stay on the World Heavyweight Champion, though. It's one thing to get him down, it's a whole nother thing to keep him out. McIntyre has not lost a matchup since December against John Cena on SmackDown, but Austin Theory off the blockbuster may be handing McIntyre a brand new loss. And McIntyre gets the shoulder up, but a great effort by Austin Theory. Theory a legitimate threat to the gold tonight, and McIntyre recognizes that. Nice reversal there by the champion, who now turns Theory around and drops him with a neck breaker. Slow down the momentum, at least for a moment. Send him into the corner. Big time lariat. Squashing Theory from pillar to post. And now McIntyre looking to stomp out the heart of the King of the Ring winner. It's a great comeback there by McIntyre to get the momentum back on his side. But now sends Theory into the corner again. Let's see what Drew McIntyre's got in store for Austin Theory. Oh, big time kick. Austin Theory thought he was going to outsmart the champion there, but McIntyre one step ahead of the challenger. Only a 1 count, but enough to knock the wind out of Theory and send him to the outskirts, at least for a moment. Austin Theory dazed, got his bell rung. McIntyre off the apron, dropping the axe hammer. Things once again make their way to ringside here in Levi Stadium. Drew McIntyre, look at this. Down goes the challenger again. Austin Theory a few moments ago hit that big-time German at ringside to McIntyre. McIntyre with a little receipt to Austin Theory off that power slam. Back inside the squared circle, where McIntyre delivers the Michinoku driver for the second time in this main event contest. But not done. McIntyre recognizes the challenger's efforts, knows it's going to take more to keep down all day Austin Theory. Now McIntyre scaling the ropes, and a big-time leg drop. The tree trunks to the throat of Austin Theory, into the cover to retain the title. Almost had him there, but Austin Theory kicks out. McIntyre cannot allow the young effort from Austin Theory to interfere with his game plan. Looked like McIntyre was going for Glasgow Kiss, but Theory was able to reverse it just in the nick of time, and there's a pump kick by Theory. That is how quick the momentum can shift, especially in a big-time world title match. Now Austin Theory looking to lay on the pressure, looking to defeat the world champion and leave with the big gold belt. That was a very timely reversal by Theory moments ago. You saw McIntyre wind it up for that Glasgow Kiss, enough to knock anybody out. But Austin Theory did his homework, had it scouted, able to counter, and now has got McIntyre fighting an uphill battle. There's Drew with a reversal. And Theory takes him out. Austin Theory cannot allow McIntyre to get going once again. And I think it may be a good idea for Theory to stay on those legs as McIntyre. Eliminate some of the kicks, especially the Glasgow kiss. Or shooting the Claymore kick of Drew McIntyre. Austin Theory just trying to pick apart the world champion, but McIntyre still breathing, still with blood pumping through the veins. And the will to succeed goes for the big boot. Nobody home. McIntyre with another chop, and there it is. If it doesn't work once, go for it a second. That time McIntyre gets his wish. And Theory once again. It's almost been the saving grace of Theory to head to the outside and take a breather from the World Heavyweight Champion's offense. McIntyre on the ropes, goes for a dive, but Austin Theory out of the way, a crash and burn by McIntyre. McIntyre sent into the ring. He might have cost himself there. Austin Theory on the champion's tail. Cutting him in half. McIntyre is in trouble right now. Oh, spoke too soon. Grabs a hold of the challenger. Squashes him in the corner. And a boot scrape. Never count out the Scottish Warrior. This SmackDown main event starting to kick into a new gear. World titles on the line. Who wants it more? Spine buster by McIntyre. Elects to go for the cover. And Austin Theory kicks out. Well, a great effort by Austin Theory thus far, but does he have enough to outlast the onslaught of the champion who powers bombs Austin Theory? What strength out of McIntyre, especially as we get into deep waters in this match. That is a testament to the toughness of Drew McIntyre to muscle up Austin Theory and hit that power bomb, and now McIntyre, Glasgow kiss. But it's not enough to keep Austin Theory down. A kick out from the challenger, and McIntyre can't believe it. He fought off the powerbomb, plus the Glasgow kiss. He might have had him. But Austin Theory now with the reversal, and Theory grabs a hold of the champion. There's the strength out of the challenger, and that might have been a knockout blow. But Theory persistent, unloading on the champion. McIntyre's down, a wounded beast, and Austin Theory looking to prey upon the champion. You gotta give credit to Austin Theory. He has given McIntyre a run for his money tonight. Oh man, McIntyre's in trouble. Theory's picking him apart right now. Oh my goodness, oh my goodness. Tail down. We're gonna have a new World Heavyweight Champion. At the last second, McIntyre kicks out. Austin Theory crashes and burns. McIntyre survived. A-Town down. Oh, man. McIntyre went Claymore. Theory went pump kick. Both men crashed and burned. But it's Austin Theory who gets the upper hand. The matchup rolls on. Theory has got McIntyre wounded. Is unloading on the World Heavyweight Champion. He didn't put McIntyre away with the A-Town down, but he may have Drew McIntyre in an opportune state. But there's Drew throwing some haymakers, throwing lefts, throwing rights. The Scottish Warrior's coming alive. World titles on the line. There's a miss by McIntyre. A reversal by the champion. McIntyre, neck breaker on Theory. The Scottish Warrior is coming alive. The heart is still pumping, and the will to succeed is higher than ever. Theory up against the turnbuckles, and not where he wants to be. With this fire-breathing dragon looking to come alive. Look at the muscle out of the champion here. A super plex to the challenger. Theory's down. The matchup rolls on. San Francisco is in all. McIntyre looking to put the final nail in Theory. And now Drew into the cover to retain the title. But Austin Theory grabs the ropes. Theory grabs the ropes. The wherewithal of the champion. This is what the World Championship means to each and every one of the competitors in the SmackDown locker room. And the champion and challenger know what's at stake. They know what this moment means. Who wants it more? Do you want to be the man? Do you want to be the face of SmackDown as the World Heavyweight Champion? McIntyre to the outside. Austin Theory goes for the suicide dive and he hits it again. Austin Theory is still alive. And I got a feeling we are inching closer and closer to a new World Heavyweight Champion. That is how much Austin Theory is giving this fight tonight. The champion's down, the champion's wounded, but the champion's not out. Oh, into the announce table goes Austin Theory. Counts at a 5 right now. McIntyre has got a dazed Austin Theory on the outside, and McIntyre comes off the apron full head of steam. He looked for it earlier, to no avail. This time he takes out Theory. All the weight of McIntyre coming crashing down on the champion. Back inside the squared circle. McIntyre's loaded up for a Claymore. The cover on Theory. And Drew McIntyre has staked his claim at the top of Friday Night SmackDown yet again. Waving the flag stronger than ever. That fire-breathing son of a bitch just wants it more. McIntyre is still the World Heavyweight Champion.
Here is your winner, and still World Heavyweight Champion, the Scottish Warrior, Drew McIntyre.
That is what Friday Night SmackDown is all about. That is what the World Heavyweight Championship is all about. McIntyre has been on the run of a lifetime. 2023 has been the year of the Warrior. And that Scottish psychopath is still on top of the mountain. Drew McIntyre leaving Levi's Stadium, still your World Heavyweight Champion. It is main event time. CFG Bank Arena, Baltimore, Maryland. 5-man elimination match. No countouts, no disqualifications. Last man standing is leaving with the World Heavyweight Championship. And here comes challenger number 1, the Hall of Famer, a man who has a list of accolades a mile long, the Rated R Superstar Edge, looking to proclaim another stake at the top of the mountain with the big gold belt.
The following contest is an elimination match and is for the World Heavyweight Championship. Introducing the challenger from Toronto, Ontario, Canada, weighing in at 249 pounds, Edge!
There is a big fight feel atmosphere in the sold-out CFG Bank Arena. This place has been hot and heavy all night long for what has been an epic SmackDown exclusive live premiere event, but it all concludes in the main event of No Mercy with the world title on the line. And Edge has had a lot of recent history with one of the men who is quite frankly most responsible for this 5-man elimination match here tonight at No Mercy.
And from Atlanta, Georgia, weighing in at 220 pounds, Austin Theory!
3 weeks ago on SmackDown, we were set to have AJ Styles versus Randy Orton to determine the number 1 contender to the world title. Austin Theory interrupted that matchup, proclaiming it a no contest, leaving both men laying inside the squared circle. The following week, Theory was set to go one-on-one with Edge, a man who had defeated him in the lead-up to SummerSlam last month. Theory ambushed Edge earlier in the night. He was unable to compete. AJ Styles stepped in to fight Austin Theory, which then led to even more chaos as Edge made his way to the ring. Randy Orton made his way to the ring. 4 challengers that have been fighting back and forth for weeks. It was only right that we threw everybody inside of the squared circle, put the World Heavyweight Championship on the line, and settle the score once and for all. Well, tensions have been rising high on SmackDown. It's for good reason. Everybody chomping at the bit to wave the flag of the blue brand. Something's gotta give, and we could be looking at the man who has the most phenomenal opportunity to take advantage of tonight in AJ Styles.
And representing the OC from Gainesville, Georgia, weighing in at 218 pounds, the phenomenal AJ Styles.
AJ Styles last held a championship going back to April of 2022 when he won the WWE title. It was just a few months later that he was knocked off the top of the mountain, and who defeated him? That would be the Rated R Superstar Edge. Of course, Austin Theory, very familiar with these 5-man elimination matches because it was 1 year and change ago where Theory pinned Edge in this same style of match to have his short-lived reign as the WWE Champion. So much history between these 5 superstars, but something, as we mentioned, has got to give tonight. A lot of egos, an all-star lineup as it's been billed, but only one man can leave the World Heavyweight Champion. Will it be Edge? Will it be Austin Theory? Will it be AJ Styles, or will it be your 4th challenger, the Apex Predator?
And from St. Louis, Missouri, weighing in at 250 pounds, the Viper, Randy Orton!
There is a different vibe in the eyes of Randy Orton over the last few months. It's an eerie presence that breathes one thing and one thing only: desperation to become World Heavyweight Champion. Orton has been wanting a one-on-one match with Drew McIntyre, and even though he got it last night on SmackDown, the World Heavyweight Championship wasn't on the line, and of course we saw what happened last night with AJ Styles hitting the ring and laying out Randy Orton with a phenomenal forearm. Just adding into all the chaos, but as we mentioned, Randy Orton has been wanting that one-on-one match for the world title. He originally was supposed to get it at Money in the Bank until Edge intervened, leading to a triple threat. Randy Orton and Edge met last month at SummerSlam. Orton picked up the victory, but all roads lead to right here tonight. Randy Orton's got another opportunity for the big gold belt. Can he capitalize on it? Can he get the job done? Can he win the world title? That was his very first world title here in the WWE. Certainly all 5 men in this matchup have a viable chance at winning, but who is going to be the last man standing for the World Heavyweight Championship? And you want to talk about the mood changing? Look no further than the man who has taken 2023 by storm. This has been the year of the Scottish Warrior, of this fire-breathing dragon known as the World Heavyweight Champion, Drew McIntyre. From winning Elimination Chamber to winning the world title at WrestleMania and defending it week after week, month after month since, McIntyre has staked his claim on the top of the mountain. But will tonight be the night that McIntyre takes a long and drastic fall to the bottom?
Weighing in at 254 pounds, he is the World Heavyweight Champion, the Scottish Warrior, Drew McIntyre.
Drew McIntyre has defeated John Cena, Seth Rollins, Braun Breaker, Edge, Randy Orton, and Austin Theory. Obviously, a lot of those matches coming in singles affairs, pinning Randy Orton in the triple threat back at Money in the Bank. But regardless of the history, it is obviously not going to be an easy task whichever way you spin it. And there's 4 other men in this matchup. McIntyre's chances of leaving as World Heavyweight Champion are drastically different. Will tonight be the night that the Scottish Warriors run at the top finally comes to a screeching halt? Or is Drew McIntyre going to continue to add to his legacy as being one of the greatest World Heavyweight Champions to ever live? Well, Well, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The stage is set. It is your main event tonight, the CFG Bank Arena in Baltimore, Maryland. SmackDown exclusive, No Mercy event. 5-man elimination matchup. And that is the prize that is at stake. The World Heavyweight Championship. 4 challengers, 1 champion. Last man standing proclaims the gold. And here we go. The bell has sounded and we are underway. No countouts, no disqualifications. All 5 men in the ring at one time. Pinfall or submission, the only way to gain an elimination. There's going to be a lot of action to keep up with. We will do our best. Styles going for the early elimination on Austin Theory, but gotta imagine it's going to take a lot to keep these men down tonight. With all 4, I should say all 5 of these men chomping at the bit to leave as world champion. All the chaos that we have seen on SmackDown as of late, with these 5 men going back and forth with each other. Tonight is the night. Put up or shut up and become World Heavyweight Champion. Austin Theory going after McIntyre. And again, as we mentioned, Austin Theory very well maybe the reason we even have this 5-man elimination match tonight, because he is the one who originally interrupted the Orton and AJ Styles match. It was going to give us a solid #1 contender for the world title. Nonetheless, all these weeks later, this is what it has come to. 5 men in the ring at one time. It's Edge and AJ Styles going at it. Remember, Edge and Styles, a lot of history between those 2 men. And actually, the last time they were inside the squared circle was back at WrestleMania earlier this year when they teamed up to fight Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, unfortunately in a losing effort for the 2 men. McIntyre and Austin Theory. The SmackDown main event of SummerSlam. What a match that was last month in Levi Stadium. McIntyre, of course, retaining the World Heavyweight title. The 2023 King of the Ring winner in the young Austin Theory. Looking to finally win the World Heavyweight title that he has been pursuing all summer long. It's Randy Orton trying to introduce some steel steps into this matchup. Again, no disqualifications. Randy Orton not afraid to break out the plunder if need be here in Baltimore. As this matchup progresses, once again, ladies and gentlemen, we will be live right back here tomorrow night. Emanating from the Allstate Arena in the Windy City, Chicago, Illinois, 5 p.m. Eastern Time for the Monday Night Raw exclusive Unforgiven event. What a weekend it has been. Awesome doubleheader. Of course, Cruiserweight Classic earlier this afternoon, which continues next Saturday. And of course, the Road to Clash at the Castle on October the 22nd. Going to kick off this coming Monday Night Raw. The action never stops around these parts. We just keep on moving on and on, up and up. Wouldn't have it any other way. You aren't going to find this action anywhere else. What a night it has been here in No Mercy. Cody Rhodes retaining his United States Championship over Braun Breaker. About what we saw just moments ago, Rhea Ripley cashing in her Money in the Bank contract to become the new WWE Women's Champion. Santos Escobar, Chad Gable tearing down the house for the Cruiserweight title. It's been an awesome night, but it is main event time, and the world title is on the line. Randy Orton again, you see, going for those steel steps from the outside. Orton's got something in mind with the hardware. But every man trying to avoid it, knowing that could drastically change the perspective of this match. While Edge on the top rope, dropping an elbow to the heart of the phenomenal AJ Styles. Edge not afraid to go high risk if it means leaving World Heavyweight Champion, and off the execution, AJ Styles could be looking for a victory. Oh, wait a minute. Instead of going for the pinfall, Edge is going to go for the exclamation point. A spear on Styles. Going for the first casualty of the match. Will that do it? No, AJ gets the shoulder up, and that was a close call for the Rated R Superstar. Edge almost eliminating AJ Styles. Going to take 4 pinfalls or submissions to determine one true World Heavyweight Champion here tonight. Edge and Styles, the only 2 men left inside the squared circle right now, as McIntyre is stuck between a rock and a hard place at ringside with Theory and Orton. And McIntyre, what a reversal there on the 2023 King of the Ring winner. Well, AJ Styles going for a pinfall on Edge inside the ring to no avail. Orton and Theory going at it. Those 2 men got a lot of history with each other, both on the same side of the ring and opposing. So McIntyre back inside the ring, keeping his eye on all the challengers right now. Goes behind on AJ Styles. McIntyre looking to take advantage. Gotta have eyes in the back of your head in this style of matchup. Unfortunately, it's better said than done. McIntyre ducking out the Edge clothesline there. The World Heavyweight Champion who's had some battles with Edge already. Over the matchup they had back in June at King of the Ring. What an amazing fight that was between McIntyre and Styles. Nonetheless, AJ on his feet, not by will, but by force of the World Heavyweight Champion who squashes him in the corner. Great move there by Drew McIntyre. The fight continues in a Glasgow kiss on AJ Styles. But McIntyre's not done. AJ's already ate the worst from Edge, and now he's about to eat the worst from the champion. Claymore kick on the phenomenal AJ Styles. Into the cover. That's it.
AJ Styles has been eliminated.
First casualty of the match is the phenomenal AJ Styles. 5 becomes 4, and we're one step closer to determining who leaves Baltimore as the World Heavyweight Champion. AJ Styles drawing the unlucky hand, being the first casualty of the match. Ate the execution and the spear from Edge, then the Glasgow kiss and the Claymore from McIntyre. Now we're down to 4. Edge and Theory, so much unfinished business between those two men. Several weeks they've been brawling. I mean, last night on SmackDown, brawls in the Barclays Center in Brooklyn. Edge laid out Theory. Theory put Edge through a table. It's just been chaos on SmackDown as of late. Orton inside of the ring with Edge. Those two men picking up right where they left off in SummerSlam. Remember what happened a few weeks ago on SmackDown? Orton ambushing Edge and leaving him with an RKO in the middle of the WWE Universe. Nonetheless, 3 superstars back inside the squared circle. The 2023 King of the Ring winner, Austin Theory, takes his time. And McIntyre with a big-time fall-away headbutt on the Rated R Superstar. A physical matchup this has been, but you expect nothing less when you got 5 All-Stars in the ring, decorated performers, every man trying to leave with the World Heavyweight title. Wait a minute. Austin Theory's got a steel chair and sneaks up behind Orton. And now McIntyre, who already had his eyes locked on Orton, continues to fight. Theory's beating down Edge with a solid steel chair. Chaos and anarchy are the only words to describe these SmackDown All-Stars right now. McIntyre avoiding that chair by any means necessary, and certainly not something he wanted to feel the brunt of. Austin Theory trying to get to his feet. Meanwhile, as you see, McIntyre avoids a crossbody on the outside, but by hook or by crook, Randy Orton found him with the steel steps. So much action to keep up with in this main event as the brawl continues. It's a Pier 6 brawl. It's starting to look like a car wreck in the middle of Baltimore. Edge back inside the squares, well, at least for a moment. I don't know what the Rated R Superstars got in mind as McIntyre's working over Randy Orton, throwing him up against that barricade now. Austin Theory, however, going after the steel steps at ringside. Oh, now Edge does a couple of chops to the Viper. And now McIntyre from behind sending Orton to the barricade again, and Edge comes from behind with the Bulldog. AJ Styles already falling in this matchup after eating a execution and a spear from Edge, then a Glasgow kiss and a Claymore by McIntyre just a few moments later. No way the Phenomenal One or anybody in this match could have been outlasted that. Theory trying to go underneath the ring for some plunder again, but Edge says otherwise. Randy Orton and Edge back at it inside the squared circle. Drew McIntyre may be the smartest man in all of Baltimore right now, just watching as these challengers beat the hell out of each other at ringside. The World Heavyweight Champion putting the fuel tanks on reserve, if you will. Edge sending Theory back inside of the ring. I'm sure Edge would love to eliminate Austin Theory tonight, and I'm sure vice versa, Theory would love to eliminate Edge. He blames Edge for derailing his momentum on the road to SummerSlam, and somehow blames Edge for costing him the world title match because of it at SummerSlam. Make it make sense is what we asked of Austin Theory, but Theory's going to be in his own mind and say what he wants to say. Nobody's to blame, or I should say everyone's to blame, but Austin Theory in his own mind. Nonetheless, all the talent in the world, Theory looking to inflict some punishment on Drew McIntyre. Nice sidewalk slam. And CFG Bank Arena has been sold out for weeks. They came out in droves tonight, and they've been loving the SmackDown Superstars and their display of athletic ability inside and outside of the squared circle. Theory's got the chair again and crashing it over the skull of the World Heavyweight Champion, but McIntyre. There's a reason this man has been champion for the majority of 2023, and it's because he's learned how to absorb maneuvers like that. Going for the elimination, he gets the 2, but McIntyre gets the shoulder off the canvas. Theory, nice scoop and a slam. Down goes the world champion. Grabbing the chair again, and McIntyre trying to avoid casualty with the weapons. He knows they are going to be a detriment to his world title reign. Meanwhile, Edge, execution on McIntyre to eliminate the champion and guarantee a new one. No, McIntyre gets the shoulder up, a close call for the Rated R Superstar. Edge could have easily eliminated McIntyre there and guaranteed we were going to leave no mercy with a new World Heavyweight Champion, but it was not to be just yet. Oh, wait a minute, Theory, A-Town down on Edge. Will that do it? Second casualty on its way, no. Edge survives the A-Town down. And Randy Orton with an RKO! And will that do it? Will Theory be hitting the showers? Not just yet. Business is picking up in the main event. Execution to McIntyre, no casualty. A-Town down to Edge, no casualty. RKO to Theory, still standing, and we're still left with 4 in this 5-man matchup. World Champion Drew McIntyre back in the fray. Well, Randy Orton trying to swing that steel chair to no avail. Nice counter by the Viper. McIntyre goes for the goes for the challenger now. Go for the power bomb, and what strength by Orton. And now Orton to eliminate the World Heavyweight Champion, but obviously Edge not realizing there was a pin going on, and there's an RKO. And I think Edge's night may be over with. No! Edge gets the shoulder up and lives the fight on. Another moment in this main event. It's been finisher city in there the last few minutes, but not finishing the matchup for any of these superstars. Austin Theory's beating the hell out of the world champion Drew McIntyre ringside. I believe, yes, with a steel chair. Oh, man. Oh, wait a minute. Inside the squared circle. A spear to Randy Orton. And Edge looking to stick it to his longtime rival. Elimination incoming, not just yet as Randy Orton kicks out. You have got to be kidding me. Edge with the same sentiments. Oh, but Edge is going back in the corner. Keeping the cog on the wheel. And a second spear to the Viper. Payback in mind. Elimination is to be. We are down to 3 men. Randy Orton is gone. Edge, Austin Theory, and the World Heavyweight Champion Drew McIntyre. And what a match this has been. We started with 5, we're down to 3. Orton's out, Styles is out. Will it be Austin Theory? Will it be Edge? Or will it be McIntyre? And we're not gonna have a voice the time we get to Chicago tomorrow night for Unforgiven, I'll tell you that right now. Especially after this night and this main event. Look at Edge, nice counter there. Grabbing McIntyre with his head on a swivel and knocking the champion off the apron. And now Theory trying to take advantage of Edge, who had his back turned. Scoop and a slam. Keeping it simple yet effective there. Randy Orton making his way back to the locker room, joining AJ Styles as the next elimination in this main event matchup. Austin Theory now in the ring, the Rated R Superstar on the outside, McIntyre on the outside. Every man's obviously fatigue starting to set in, every man trying to take a breath. Now Edge back inside of the ring with his eyes locked on the World Heavyweight Champion and taking McIntyre down. On Theory going for a shot with the chair, Edge says no, and a kick to the gut. Down goes Theory. Oh, wait a minute. Edge has got his eyes locked. Could be looking to deliver another spear in this match on Austin Theory for the elimination. No! Well, every man but McIntyre has been hit with that spear. But McIntyre now gets hit with a second execution. The Rated R Superstar's on fire. But McIntyre kicks out again. McIntyre with a kick bump. Somehow still with enough adrenaline, enough energy to keep this fight going. Oh my goodness, but Theory from behind with the steel chair. Austin Theory has utilized the chairs in this matchup, trying to take any shortcut, and I guess we can't even call it a shortcut because it's all legal in this matchup to leave the World Heavyweight Champ. Oh, Edge with a face buster. I think Theory might have hit the chair on the way down. Well, now Edge going for an elimination over the champion now. McIntyre gets eliminated. We're guaranteed a new World Heavyweight Champion. Whether that be Edge or Austin Theory, I don't know. This is Edge's third opportunity at the world title in the last 4 months. Can he finally take advantage of it? Or will Austin Theory take advantage of his second after failing to win the gold at SummerSlam? Finds himself back this close from Drew McIntyre's world title. All three men back inside the squared circle, but for how much longer? Wait a minute, Theory catching Drew. Stacking him up and drops him on the knee. And that could be all she wrote. New world champion on the horizon. But McIntyre gets the shoulder up again. The champion survives, at least for another moment. Now it's Edge and Theory back inside the ring. We talked about it earlier. We'll say it again. How good did it feel on both ends of the spectrum to have an elimination for both of these men? Theory would love to pin Edge. Edge would love to stick it to Theory. But who is going to get it done tonight at No Mercy? Once again, we want to thank you for joining us all night long here in Baltimore, Maryland. And we'll be live at 5 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow night in Chicago at Unforgiven. And Edge with a spear on Theory out of nowhere. Cover. Theory's gone.
Has been eliminated.
Austin Theory eliminated by hands of the Rated R Superstar. And we are down to 2. Claymore. Cover. Edge kicks out. The Hall of Famer kicks out. The matchup is far from over. Edge with his second elimination. He has sent Orton to the locker room. He sent Theory to the showers. But now McIntyre with 10 beats of the bound drum. My goodness. Drew McIntyre is fired up. Edge hit that spear on Theory out of nowhere. Eliminated Theory. But now Edge, one-on-one with the World Heavyweight Champion. Can he survive? McIntyre on the challenger's tail. Second Claymore. McIntyre goes for the cover again. And that will do it. What a main event. And once again, Drew McIntyre survives. I cannot believe the action, the chaos, the anarchy that we just witnessed in the middle of CFG Bank Arena, and somehow, someway, this fire-breathing Scottish warrior is still on top of the mountain, waving the flag of the blue brand as the World Heavyweight Champion. What a main event here at No Mercy.
Here is your winner, and still World Heavyweight Champion, the Scottish Warrior, Drew McIntyre.
Drew McIntyre is cementing his legacy. We are going to look back years from now at this reign as one of the greatest runs on top as World Heavyweight Champion. McIntyre has lined him up and he has knocked them all down, and I can't believe he outlasted 4 challengers in one match. But if anybody could do it, it's that fire-breathing warrior, the World Heavyweight Champion, Drew McIntyre. We will be live tomorrow night from the Windy City, Chicago, Illinois for the Raw exclusive live premiere event, 5 p.m. Eastern Time for Unforgiven.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the World Heavyweight Championship.
And it is main event time here from the Capital One Arena in Washington, D.C. And the World Heavyweight Championship is on the line. The phenomenal, AJ Styles is in the house. You remember last month on SmackDown, AJ Styles went one-on-one with Randy Orton to originally crown the #1 contender for Drew McIntyre's world title. That matchup was interrupted by Austin Theory, which then led to a series of events that all led to No Mercy this past Saturday night in the 5-man elimination matchup. Unfortunately, AJ Styles was the first man eliminated in that contest by way of the Scottish Warrior Drew McIntyre. That just didn't sit right with AJ Styles. Styles walks right up to Drew McIntyre, from what we understand earlier today, challenged him with all due respect to a matchup for the World Heavyweight Championship tonight. And there's one thing we know about McIntyre, that he's been a fighting champion, and he's certainly not one to back down from any challenge. So Styles gets his wish. Not only does he stand across from McIntyre tonight on SmackDown, but the big gold belt is on the line. Will tonight be the night that McIntyre's legendary reign comes crashing down by hands of the Phenomenal One? Certainly a big fight feel here tonight in Washington, D.C. as the World Heavyweight Champion commences here on SmackDown. 7 nights from tonight, it is the season premiere of the Blue Brand. First SmackDown of the fall season. It's going to be a loaded occasion, as you just saw. But it's a massive main event on our hands right here, right now. As the man who won the world title back at WrestleMania in February and has defended it against so many greats ever since, waltzes into SmackDown tonight and looks to contest AJ Styles for that very big gold belt. McIntyre has turned away Seth Rollins, Austin Theory, John Cena, Braun Breaker, Edge, Randy Orton, and of course AJ Styles in the midst of that 5-man elimination challenge. But will Styles' one-on-one contest with McIntyre tonight be the key to victory? I'm going to take you on a little history lesson here. The last time Styles and McIntyre went one-on-one was in April of 2022 in the finals of a #1 contenders tournament for the WWE Championship. AJ Styles defeated Drew McIntyre on that night a year plus ago and went on to become the WWE Champion. Styles obviously confident that he has what it takes to beat McIntyre one-on-one from bell to bell and have that victory lead him to success. But all this time later, McIntyre a different man than he was last year. That was well documented on his road to WrestleMania. And now Drew McIntyre looks to continue his pursuit of becoming an all-time great. And Styles looks to leave the Capital One Center with the World Heavyweight Championship. It's go big or go home in tonight's main event on SmackDown.
Introducing the challenger from Gainesville, Georgia, weighing in at 218 pounds, the phenomenal AJ Styles. And his opponent from Ayr, Scotland, weighing in at 254 pounds, he is the World Heavyweight Champion, the Scottish Warrior, Drew McIntyre.
With as impressive as McIntyre has been throughout this year, you can't say the championship isn't in any jeopardy tonight. It's been a long time since the World Heavyweight title has been defended here on SmackDown, but tonight AJ Styles looks to bring home the gold. And the house that AJ Styles presumably built, the Blue Brand, he looks to win the World Heavyweight Championship. Big fight feel in tonight's main event. The bell has sounded and we are underway. Styles, McIntyre, one-on-one. Gotta wonder who's gonna get the early momentum here, and it looks like Styles going for it early. McIntyre going gut first on the knee. Obviously McIntyre, wait a minute, Styles wants the win early. Submission hold locked in. Got the crossface in on Drew McIntyre. Looking to tap out, possibly pass out McIntyre in the early going there, but Drew not having none of it. Your Styles very well may have picked his spot tonight A very mindful eye, if you will. AJ, as we mentioned, the first man eliminated in the 5-man elimination challenge this past Saturday night at No Mercy. McIntyre, winning the matchup, was there all the way till the end, battling it out with Theory and Edge in the final few minutes. McIntyre obviously more fatigued coming out of that match at No Mercy than Styles. And if Drew is not 100% tonight, Styles may be able to take advantage. But when you see maneuvers like that, the strength of McIntyre, sit-out powerbomb, gotta wonder if it even matters if McIntyre is 100% tonight. He'll let adrenaline and his will to be World Heavyweight Champion fuel him till the end. We've seen it done before out of Drew McIntyre, but the same can be said about AJ Styles. This is truly a matchup that could go either way in tonight's main event. Styles bringing McIntyre in the knee to the rib cage again. Maybe trying to take out the wind of Drew McIntyre. Continuously doing that long enough in this matchup can keep down Drew McIntyre's will to succeed for sure. The Clash at the Castle coming up at the end of October. Cardiff, Wales. McIntyre obviously wanting to go back to his homeland as World Heavyweight Champion. But AJ Styles looking to spoil what could be a homecoming for Drew here tonight. AJ looking hot in the early going. McIntyre showed a flurry of offense. That gut-wrench powerbomb, but AJ Styles is all over Drew, attacking the rib cage with the crossface and now the leg. AJ's just trying to pick McIntyre apart, body part by body part tonight, limb by limb. And off the neck breaker, and Styles is really rolling in the early moments. Into the cover. Trying to win the title. McIntyre kicks out. I think Styles knows he's not going to get McIntyre to give up so early. But enough near falls could possibly get in the psyche of McIntyre. Also allows McIntyre to use more energy, having to kick out time and time again, which is only going to wear down the World Heavyweight Champion. Styles sending McIntyre out of the ring. I don't even know if he meant to that time, but the momentum of Drew sending him over the top. On the outside, nothing's going to go well out there. And Styles, my goodness, big time neck breaker to the World Heavyweight Champion. You want to keep down the Scottish Warrior, you got to be able to dig down deep in the bag of tricks. And that's what Styles just did. Big time offense by AJ as McIntyre runs right into the ring apron there. Just trying to shake the cobwebs off, and Styles breaking the count, but that gave McIntyre a little bit of space. Shake off the cobwebs, as we mentioned, and get back into this matchup. McIntyre not looking to see his world title reign come to an end. Just a few days removed from possibly his most impressive victory at No Mercy. AJ on spaghetti legs on the outside, and McIntyre coming off the apron with a big-time clothesline, using his body as a weapon there on the smaller yet more agile competitor in AJ Styles. Referee had a count of 7. McIntyre could easily retain the championship on a count out, but we know McIntyre doesn't play the games like that. To get the job done in between the ropes. That is how McIntyre has done it ever since WrestleMania when he won the World Heavyweight title. With the cover there, and he gets the 2, but AJ not going to allow the pinfall and the loss for the Phenomenal One just yet. Opportunities like this don't come around every day of the week. AJ had an opportunity at No Mercy. He's lucky McIntyre awarded him this matchup tonight. AJ Styles falls short tonight. You may not know in the next time AJ is going to find himself competing for the World Heavyweight Championship on SmackDown. You got to take advantage when the opportunity is right in front of you. Kick down the door. But McIntyre may be riding a wave of momentum throughout this year that is just too hot to be stopped. AJ on the outside. McIntyre going in the air and comes crashing down on the Phenomenal One. Big time offense by the Scottish Warrior. As McIntyre now sending AJ back inside the squared circle. And Drew could be looking to bring this matchup to a close off that high risk, high maneuver to the outside. Tilt-a-whirl backbreaker. AJ Styles to be feeling that one on Sunday morning. But off the Glasgow kiss into the cover. Oh, but AJ reaching out, grabbing the ropes. Styles saved by the ropes that time. McIntyre with the big-time Glasgow kiss headbutt. AJ Styles' bell rocked, obviously, but enough wherewithal to reach out and grab the ropes. Enough wherewithal to counter whatever McIntyre had in mind that time. Drew getting set right where the turnbuckle pads. Now AJ muscles up McIntyre. Big time neck breaker on the knee. Styles may be nearing victory. The champion's down and out. AJ not going for the cover just yet. Realizes what kind of man McIntyre has been throughout this year. What kind of warrior Drew is. And now AJ's off on the apron. Phenomenal forearm. And it hits flush. We're going to have a new World Heavyweight Champion here on SmackDown. Not just yet as McIntyre gets the shoulder up. Styles hit the neck breaker. Styles hit the phenomenal forearm. Yet McIntyre somehow survived. And that has been a testament to Drew McIntyre's World Championship reign throughout 2023. Surviving the best of them. Outlasting everything that has been thrown at him and coming out on the other end. But the bell hasn't sounded yet. McIntyre's got to get back into this matchup. AJ Styles doing some serious damage off the phenomenal forearm and the neck breaker. McIntyre's got to be hurting, especially after being the last man standing at No Mercy. But does Drew have enough left in the tank to battle out right now? Battle from underneath and take out his challenger this evening. AJ just ragdolled off the apron that time. Now McIntyre on the middle buckle. Big time hammer. Almost tomahawk chop it looked like near the end there on the cranium of AJ Styles. Now McIntyre starting to get the ball rolling in this World Championship match, but Styles says otherwise. That may have been McIntyre's best hope right there. Started getting the ball rolling as we mentioned. After AJ Styles hit the neck breaker and the phenomenal forearm. But now with the crossface locked in yet again in this match. McIntyre's close from the ropes, but the pain may be too much. He may not have it in him to reach out and break up the submission hold. McIntyre taps, we got a new champion. No, able to roll out of it. The strength by Drew playing dividends right there. And a suplex takes Styles off his feet. And what a great main event tonight here on SmackDown for the World Heavyweight Championship. And don't forget, Raw and SmackDown season premiere events next week. Monday, we are live at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Next Friday, we are live at 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Now Styles off the kick. The pendulum of momentum starting to swing back and forth between Drew and the Phenomenal One. World Championships on the line. Styles getting sent to the outside. Not by will, but by force of the World Heavyweight Champion. Now McIntyre eyeing up the Phenomenal One. See McIntyre a little bit slow to capitalize right now. Obviously feeling the fatigue of the World Championship battles. Sending Styles into the ring steps there, trying to make the Phenomenal One feel the same fatigue that the Scottish Warrior may be feeling at the moment. He's looking to bring AJ back into the ring. Styles says otherwise. Looking to keep the fight on the outside, or at least bring McIntyre back inside the ring by his own accord. Oh man, taking out those tree trunk-like legs of McIntyre. Take out the legs, you take away McIntyre's best weapon in the Claymore kick. Maybe what Styles was intending right there. Now AJ all over the world champion, not allowing distance unless he deems it necessary. Back inside the ring, and Styles again taking out the knee. Styles looking to eliminate possibly the Claymore kick of Drew McIntyre, knowing we're getting in deep waters of this matchup and trying to take away McIntyre's best weapon. Styles into the cover again. Will that do it to win the world title? No. McIntyre's heart still pumping. Blood still flowing through the veins. Drew not looking to leave Washington, D.C. without the World Heavyweight title. And AJ Styles came in with a blueprint tonight, looking to execute it to perfection. McIntyre may be surviving, but he's certainly not thriving under this attack by AJ right now. AJ may have McIntyre's number at the moment. McIntyre may just be surviving, and AJ Styles may have the world champion. Weakened state. Wait a minute, Drew behind off the counter. Going for the reverse suplex. McIntyre showing signs of life. He's got to capitalize here. Sending AJ into the ropes. AJ blocks again, but McIntyre throws a big-time forearm. Oh, wait a minute. Drew going for a submission hold at this time. A Kimura lock from the Scottish Warrior. Oh, but Styles, you see how easily he shifted the leg of Drew. The injured leg of McIntyre not helping him off the submission hold. As AJ went low again, McIntyre with the leapfrog. Business is picking up in your main event tonight on SmackDown. AJ rolling to the outside, realizing the fire is starting to burn in Drew McIntyre to retain the world title. And AJ once again gets taken to the outside of the ring as McIntyre's all kinds of fired up here in Washington, D.C. AJ down on the outside, McIntyre dropping the cactus elbow. Right to the heart, possibly crushing the wills and the dreams of the phenomenal AJ Styles. AJ down and out, and McIntyre's heading to the corner. And he's gearing up. Brock Claymore kick. McIntyre into the cover. No, AJ Styles gets the shoulder up. McIntyre with the Claymore to no avail. But AJ's obviously hurt. May have kicked out off pure adrenaline, and a Glasgow kiss by McIntyre. Will that be enough? It is! McIntyre retains the World Heavyweight title. Well, that was one hell of a contest here tonight on SmackDown. AJ giving it his all, and at several moments almost had his ticket punched for the World Heavyweight title. But in the end, the Claymore and the Glasgow kiss lead us to an end.
Here's your winner, and still World Heavyweight Champion, the Scottish Warrior, Drew McIntyre.
Drew McIntyre's amazing reign atop of Friday Night SmackDown as the World Heavyweight Champion continues. AJ Styles got the one-on-one match, but not able to take advantage of it. Oh, wait a minute, Randy Orton from behind. Attacking Drew McIntyre. Wait, he's got the world title, and we saw this out of Orton a few months ago. Oh, history about to repeat itself here tonight in the Capital One Arena. The world title over the dome of the champion.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the World Heavyweight Championship.
The World Heavyweight Championship of Friday Night SmackDown is on the line in the Blue Brand's respective main event. And here comes the Apex Predator, the Viper, Randy Orton, who has been on a very cold-hearted hunt for months on SmackDown for a one-on-one contest to challenge Drew McIntyre for the World Heavyweight Championship. It's been well documented. You just heard it in the video package moments ago. Randy Orton, a part of a triple threat match at Money in the Bank. Randy Orton also a part of the 5-man elimination challenge last month at No Mercy. Both losses for the Viper, but ultimately Randy Orton believes he deserves a one-on-one, in air quotes, fair opportunity against Drew McIntyre, and tonight he gets his wish. I'll bite Randy Orton. You can argue whether this is an earned opportunity or not, but he's certainly made a bed that he is going to have to sleep in. Ambushing Drew McIntyre. multiple times over the last number of weeks, laying him out with the World Championship, an RKO through the announce table. What about 48 hours ago on SmackDown, the RKO on the equipment boxes back in the backstage area? Has Randy Orton bit off more than he can chew? Has he fired up the Scottish Warrior? Or does Randy Orton got the champion just right where he wants him? Nonetheless, about 7 hours separate Drew McIntyre's hometown in Ayr, Scotland to Cardiff, Wales. So McIntyre enters familiar grounds tonight in Principality Stadium. And what has been an incredible 2023. Albeit you are looking at possibly the superstar of the year in Drew McIntyre. And the World Heavyweight Champion, the Scottish Warrior, marches down the aisle hoping for another successful championship defense. 7 successful championship defenses for McIntyre this year. And that doesn't include where he won the world title, defeating Seth Rollins back at WrestleMania in February. What about the win inside the Elimination Chamber earlier this year? McIntyre has been in absolute wars month after month on Friday Night SmackDown. We have seen McIntyre down and out. But just when you think he is done, and just when you think the world title is out of the grasp of McIntyre, he has come out on the other end, surprising us all and retaining his gold. But will that be the same result tonight? Or has Randy Orton, through being in the ring with McIntyre on several occasions this year, through doing his homework, through the ambushes, does Orton have what it takes, and certainly have the right game plan in mind to keep down this Warrior? Nonetheless, the stage is set. Cardiff, Wales, the World Heavyweight title is on the line on behalf of SmackDown. Let's send things down to the ring for your official match introductions.
Introducing the challenger from St. Louis, Missouri, weighing in at 250 pounds, the Viper, Randy Orton! And his opponent from Ayr, Scotland, weighing in at 254 pounds, he is the World Heavyweight Champion, the Scottish Warrior, Drew McIntyre.
Big fight feel for SmackDown's respective portion of tonight's Clash at the Castle doubleheader main event. The World Heavyweight Championship is on the line. Randy Orton, the challenger. Drew McIntyre, the champion. A whole lot of writing on this contest. But it all comes to a head in the middle of Principality Stadium, Cardiff, Wales. This is Clash at the Castle, and we are set for some action on behalf of SmackDown. The bell has sounded, we are underway. McIntyre trying to come out hot, Orton sidesteps him, and down goes Drew. And what did we talk about on Friday Night SmackDown 48 hours ago? McIntyre better not come into this looking to see red too much. Better not let his anger and frustration get the best of him, because Randy Orton may just want that out of McIntyre. Nonetheless, McIntyre, no collar and elbow tie-up, no feeling out process tonight. He knows Randy Orton very well, knows the mind games, knows the game plan, knows the arsenal. These men have been to war in the past. They're ready to do it again. Randy Orton, however, you gotta believe he is coming in with some kind of strategy after sitting back and watching how McIntyre retained his title against Edge, against AJ Styles, Austin Theory, John Cena, Braun Breaker, and even himself throughout this year. What is Orton gonna throw at McIntyre that the Warrior has not seen yet? Of course, Randy Orton may argue that he has an X factor in the 3 most dangerous letters in WWE, that being the RKO that has left McIntyre laying on numerous occasions over the last 5 weeks. You gotta wonder what the condition of McIntyre is As we mentioned just 48 hours ago on SmackDown, the shot with the baseball bat over the head. Randy Orton following that up with an RKO on top of those steel equipment boxes. Orton got the last laugh on SmackDown, but will he get the last laugh tonight? And taking things to the outside. See Randy Orton giving McIntyre a bit of what he was expecting almost out of Drew, and that's just pushing pedal to the metal. No waste in motion. Randy Orton looking to become World Heavyweight Champion once again here tonight. A man who has already had a Hall of Fame career, but ever since he was forced to join Friday Night SmackDown back in the spring, he has had one goal, and that's getting back to the top of the mountain. Randy Orton has obviously picked up some victories over the last few weeks, defeating Rey Mysterio in the season premiere of SmackDown, Dominic Mysterio 2 weeks ago. Now he gets the world champion tonight, who has just been on another level than anybody in World Wrestling Entertainment this year. Randy Orton, remember, he was forced to join Friday Night SmackDown after a Hell in a Cell loss back at Backlash, which was a loser leaves Raw matchup. A situation where the WWE title was on the line, and a situation that only happened because of how destructive Randy Orton was this time last year, bleeding into the beginning of 2023 as the WWE champion on Raw. Take nothing away from Orton at this stage in his career, just as dangerous as ever, and is very much a viable contender to take down McIntyre. Nonetheless, this is a near homecoming for Drew McIntyre tonight, just 7 hours away from where we will be less than 2 weeks from now for Friday Night SmackDown in Scotland, McIntyre's homeland. Gotta imagine Drew is looking to return home as the World Heavyweight Champion. Randy Orton looking to spoil that homecoming for Drew. And McIntyre again, seeing a little bit of red tonight. A lot of enthusiasm out of McIntyre. A lot of aggression out of the champion. Goes for the tomahawk chop, miscalculates it, and now Randy Orton takes advantage, and that is what McIntyre really needs to be careful of. You do not see Drew making many mistakes, especially in his World Championship defenses. If McIntyre makes one too many, Orton's gonna strike, and it's gonna spell the end of Drew's illustrious reign as champion. Orton again, back out on the outside, and a hangman swinging neck breaker, and Drew goes down to the floor at Principality Stadium. Never count out Drew. As we mentioned, we have seen him with his back up against the wall, whether it was against Seth Rollins at WrestleMania, John Cena, even the young Braun Breaker, Edge, Randy Orton, Austin Theory, Styles, all these men that McIntyre has been in the ring with this year, all viable challengers, all people who could have easily beaten Drew McIntyre, but at the end of the day, McIntyre just wanted it more. Had that second, third gear that his opponents didn't have, was able to rise from the ashes like a phoenix and retain his world title. That is what McIntyre has made success of in 2023, and he's hoping to do the same tonight. Randy Orton coming alive there, picking up the pace, and McIntyre feels the brunt of it. And Orton not going for the cover. An unintentional nod of respect, realizing McIntyre still has life left in him. Heads to the top and drops an X hammer of his own. And now the cover to win the world title. Not just yet, McIntyre still alive. A little bit of frustration out of Orton there, but he better realize who he's in the ring with. Orton cannot let his want, his greed to become world champion take him off focus tonight. McIntyre surely won't mind, and he'll take advantage as Orton was second-guessing himself, almost trying to recalibrate a strategy. And Drew took advantage, now the world champion starting to mount some momentum. Now McIntyre with the strength advantage, nice Michinoku driver, dead center of the canvas. No cover just yet. Elects for the lariat that knocks Randy Orton on his ass. Goes for the boot. McIntyre got to slow down there. Orton finds a window of opportunity, and just once again, McIntyre's momentum comes to a screeching halt. Drew has been a little overzealous in this contest. You got to call it what it is. Respect is there, champion for a reason. Randy Orton wants McIntyre to make a mistake, and so far, I think Drew is starting to play into that. Never count out the champion like we mentioned. You got to acknowledge that he's got to be careful, especially in there with a master manipulator of mind games like Orton. However, off the spine buster, only a 1 count. Has Orton played his cards right? Does he have McIntyre in a state that nobody has had him in throughout his world title reign? Again, Drew ragdolling Orton off the top. And now McIntyre scales the ropes. Uncharacteristic by the world champion. This is what we're talking about. Luckily, it works out. McIntyre drops the elbow on the challenger. Into the cover. But Randy Orton is still in this fight. McIntyre throwing some caution in the wind that time. High stakes, works out, high reward. But you got to acknowledge the fact that McIntyre very rarely heads up to the top rope. Maybe it's almost on the flip side, an unintentional nod of respect, realizing he's got to dig down deep to take care of Orton. Meanwhile, Orton sees window and has got McIntyre in a precarious situation. DDT, signature out of the arsenal of the Apex Predator. McIntyre, oh no, might have been out, but Orton's going to ensure. RKO! That's it! New world champion in Cardiff! Not just yet, McIntyre kicks out. The world champion comes alive. Orton went for the combination. Didn't waste any time going for that, or I should say, didn't waste time going for the pinfall after the DDT. Elected for the RKO. However, Drew McIntyre still in the world championship fight. Oh, wait a minute now. The hell has Randy Orton got in mind as McIntyre is rolled to the outside. Orton now being uncharacteristic and drops an axe hammer that works out for him. Now Orton's starting to go to that place, come absolutely unglued, just trying to beat the hell out of the Scottish Warrior Drew McIntyre. Randy Orton, oh my goodness. Randy Orton is willing to turn this thing into a straight beatdown, cold-hearted one at that. If need be, to leave with the big gold belt. McIntyre might have survived that RKO, but how much is left? Oh, wait a minute. Now what? Orton, power bomb on the apron. Oh, swings out with it, and McIntyre might have just exploded a shoulder on the edge of the ring. Right underneath those ring skirts, ladies and gentlemen, are steel pipes that hold this ring together, and McIntyre just went shoulder first right into him. The champion, oh wait a minute, somehow springing to his feet, and McIntyre, how the hell is he coming alive right now? This is what we talked about. McIntyre just has that second or third gear that a lot of superstars don't have. Third gear or not, Randy Orton still has got the champion hurt, and once again the momentum taken out from the sails. And Orton's looking to go for a second RKO. There it is! Orton's gonna do it! No, McIntyre's still in it! You have gotta be kidding! The second RKO does not do the trick. McIntyre trying to get back into this. Back against the wall. Gonna start throwing lefts and rights. And Orton knocks McIntyre back down to the canvas. Drew is surviving, but he is not thriving. And Randy Orton's in control, at least for the moment. The world champion in desperate need of some offense. Down goes Orton. McIntyre has survived one RKO. He has survived two RKO. You can't tell me if Orton hits a third one, McIntyre's going to be able to come alive. There's just absolutely no way. McIntyre knocks Orton down again. There is a sense of urgency in the eyes of the world champion right now. Do or die. He cannot allow Randy Orton to get back into this thing. Orton thrown to the outside. McIntyre, like a dragon through the sky, soars down and crushes Randy Orton at ringside. That fire-breathing son of a bitch, Drew McIntyre, with his heart still pumping and blood flowing through the veins, looking to retain the World Championship tonight in a sold-out Principality Stadium. And Orton, counter. And McIntyre down again. This is what the world title is all about. Who's got enough left in the tank as Randy Orton takes his eye off the ball? Dare I say, a rookie mistake out of the future Hall of Famer. You cannot allow McIntyre that window of chance. Huge belly-to-belly sends Orton for a ride. Orton needing to use the ropes to get to his feet. Look how desperate Orton is to keep fighting through the pain. Once again, we are back inside the ring tonight here at Clash at the Castle with a situation of the pendulum of momentum swinging back and forth. Orton goes, McIntyre goes. Now Orton with the reverse Boston on the World Heavyweight Champion. McIntyre may just pass out from the pain here and unintentionally give up the World Heavyweight Championship. McIntyre's got to be hurting right now. Remember that power bomb on the apron and the swing into the steel. McIntyre, Claymore! How the hell did he just pop up with that? Randy Orton kicks out. You have got to be kidding me. McIntyre with a Claymore kick. Oh my goodness. Cardiff Wales is in disbelief. McIntyre's in disbelief. Orton's bell is rung on the outside of the ring unless the matchup rolls on. This is what being the face of SmackDown, being one of the premier superstars of World Wrestling Entertainment is all about. Do you want to be the man? Do you want to be the world champion? We'll prove it when the lights are all bright. Orton back inside the ring, but does not get the result he's hoping for. Speaks too soon as Orton pulls the rug out from underneath the feet. And McIntyre, again, back and forth. Couple haymakers there. These guys gonna start throwing live rounds if need be. And there's the reverse. Down goes Orton. Man, what is it gonna take? We have seen the best of these two men in this matchup, but they're still fighting. Orton's down. McIntyre now heads to the middle rope. Big time leg drop. Holy hell. The tree trunk legs of McIntyre coming down on the windpipe of the Viper. And now McIntyre goes for a Kimura lock. Uncharacteristic, but desperate is the champion. Digging down deep in the bag of tricks, but Randy Orton has done his homework. Rolls out from it. And a Luthez. Randy Orton. Oh, wait a minute, hold on. Hold that thought. Cover here. And McIntyre kicks out. One thing we have seen throughout this match, we talked about how McIntyre's got that second or third gear. Randy Orton is matching Drew McIntyre's energy throughout this matchup. Somehow, someway, Orton sends McIntyre crushing to the outside. And Randy Orton, again, is meeting Drew McIntyre at the dance. Second, third gear for the Viper tonight. Tooth and nail battle over the World Heavyweight Championship. Dare I say, McIntyre's had some tough battles throughout this reign, but this has absolutely been the toughest. World titles on the line. Who is going to outlast the other? As once again, McIntyre's now trying to get the momentum on his side of the playing field. Orton back inside the ring. McIntyre hangs him up on the ropes momentarily. See the pace starts to slow down a little bit as fatigue sets in, as if it didn't set in a few minutes ago. It's certainly set in now, but endurance is running low. Tanks are getting close to E. One final blow, whether it be another Claymore or a third RKO. You gotta believe that one final shot, whoever gets it in, is gonna leave Cardiff Wales as the World Heavyweight Champion. Orton mouthing off to McIntyre, almost telling him just to stay down, give up, live to fight another day, and give me the World Heavyweight title. Tell you what, no matter the winner, Cardiff Wales is getting a fight of a lifetime between Orton and McIntyre tonight. Orton wanted this world title match for months on end, not looking to see it slip through his fingers. Orton hung up against the ropes, and Drew McIntyre looking to stomp out the life of the Viper. And a Glasgow kiss out of nowhere. The same headbutt that retained the championship over AJ Styles last month on SmackDown, but Randy Orton counters. How the hell is Orton still in this? Glasgow kiss, and moments later Orton's on top. And now the cover for a new world champion. Not just yet. We are witnessing a live game of chess right now. McIntyre with a Claymore kick out of nowhere. McIntyre retains the World Heavyweight Championship. It's as if that Glasgow kiss reminded Randy Orton to wake up and fight, but ultimately Drew got the final shot.
Here is your winner, and still World Heavyweight Champion, the Scottish Warrior, Drew McIntyre.
That is now 3 opportunities that Randy Orton has thrown by the wayside. No more chances. Back of the line, Drew McIntyre stakes a firm claim. Flag at the top of the mountain, the face of Friday Night SmackDown, and that Scottish breathing son of a bitch is still the World Heavyweight Champion.
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the World Heavyweight Championship.
It is main event time here from the O2 in London, England, and Austin Theory has got the opportunity of a lifetime. This past Sunday night at Clash at the Castle, Austin Theory finally defeated the Rated R Superstar Edge in one-on-one action, and Theory wasted no time throwing out the challenge to Drew McIntyre for a World Heavyweight Championship match. And even though McIntyre had an extremely grueling battle with the Apex Predator Randy Orton this past Sunday in Cardiff, McIntyre never won to turn away a challenge. Tonight, London, England gets a treat. First, the United States Championship match. Now the World Heavyweight title set to main event this Halloween weekend edition of Friday Night SmackDown. Austin Theory and Drew McIntyre headlined the SmackDown portion of the SummerSlam main event back in August. It was a successful victory for McIntyre on that night, but will the 2023 King of the Ring winner in Austin Theory have lightning strike in the same place? Will he defeat Drew McIntyre and become the new World Heavyweight Champion? Well, Drew McIntyre has certainly made a case to become the 2023 Superstar of the Year. From winning Elimination Chamber to the main event of WrestleMania and retaining his World Heavyweight Championship month after month ever since, McIntyre has turned away any and all challengers, some of the absolute best that Friday Night SmackDown has had to offer. And even though he has ran it with Austin Theory in the past, even though he has defeated Austin Theory in the past, you gotta believe Theory is coming into this matchup in a better mindset than when they fought back at SummerSlam. You remember, one of the big issues between Theory and Edge was Edge defeated Austin Theory just a week and change before he fought McIntyre back at SummerSlam. In Theory's mind, really derailing his momentum. Now, all these months later, Theory's hot off the heels over a win over the Rated R Superstar Edge. Now coming into this matchup with a much clearer mindset, more confident than ever, I am sure. Does Theory have what it takes to keep down the Scottish Warrior and become the World Heavyweight Champion? And again, take into account that both of these men in grueling battles less than a week ago in Cardiff, Wales. McIntyre possibly even in one of his biggest and hardest battles to date against the Apex Predator Randy Orton, who on multiple occasions dropped Drew McIntyre with RKOs, clearly had a chance to become the world champion on that night. In the end, it was a surprise Claymore kick that got the 1-2-3. But will that be enough? Will McIntyre be able to get through Austin Theory here tonight at the O2? Or is Austin Theory leaving with the big gold belt?
Introducing the challenger from Atlanta, Georgia, weighing in at 220 pounds, Austin Theory. And his opponent from Ayr, Scotland, weighing in at 254 pounds, he is the World Heavyweight Champion, the Scottish Warrior, Drew McIntyre.
Certainly a big fight feel as SmackDown Halloween emanates from the O2 Arena in London, England. And Drew McIntyre in a familiar corner, handing over the World Championship. And will it be for the very last time? Is one of the fastest rising stars in SmackDown history, Austin Theory, set to take his spot at the top here tonight. Multiple questions needing answers as McIntyre Theory kick off round 2 here on Friday Night SmackDown. Collar and elbow to start things out. These guys familiar with each other again. The SmackDown main event at SummerSlam. Austin Theory was even one of 5 superstars who competed in the World Championship match back at No Mercy last month in Baltimore. Very interesting to see how this matchup is going to progress, how their familiarity with each other is going to play into their strategies in this matchup as Theory drops McIntyre with the DDT. Austin Theory again, got to be more confident than ever, riding very high off a win over Edge that he promised victory in, a match that he needed to win. Right now, he's got McIntyre on the outside, but Theory better take advantage, and that time he does. Tope Suicida earlier in the matchup. And it's not often you see Drew McIntyre. Oh, wait a minute, don't count him out just yet. I was going to say, not often you see McIntyre already down and out in the early going, but that time was able to take out Theory and once again drops him on the floor. McIntyre has made a World Championship run of even when you think he's down and out, rising from the Phoenix and coming out to retain the World Championship. Will that be the same story tonight? Or will McIntyre see a more dominant victory over Austin Theory? That is always the potential when you're in there with the Scottish Warrior. And again, we want to remind you about the epic week it is going to be, kicking off Monday Night Raw, Dublin, Ireland this Monday. The Deadly Games Eliminator to see who is going to fight Seth Rollins for the WWE Championship at Survivor Series, set to kick off, plus LA Knight and Sami Zayn meeting for the Intercontinental Championship. Next Friday night on SmackDown, Randy Orton, it's been a topic of discussion in your main event, goes one-on-one with Johnny Gargano. Should be an awesome contest. Plus Santos Escobar looking to prove his worth at the top of the Cruiserweight division. Open challenge for the Cruiserweight title next week. That is going to be an epic, very interesting affair. Of course, McIntyre, win, lose, or draw tonight, promises to come home to Glasgow, Scotland. You got to believe McIntyre is looking for that homecoming next Friday night with the world title around his waist. Off the leg drop into the cover to retain, not just yet. What about a week from tomorrow? Back in the States, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. Raw and SmackDown Superstars set for Saturday night's main event, which will be coming your way November the 4th at 5 p.m. Eastern Time as McIntyre looking for 10 beats of the boundary. Austin Theory is going to feel that one on Saturday morning. McIntyre is fired up in the middle of the O2 Arena. And turning on the jets and over the top rope comes the Scottish Warrior. Flying through the sky like a fire-breathing dragon is Drew McIntyre. And Theory, his bell is rung as McIntyre tries to come off the apron that time, but Theory had it scouted. McIntyre better not try to go to the well too much with some of the same offense he had against Austin Theory back on August the 20th at SummerSlam. All these months later, who is going to be the better man? Austin Theory catches Drew on his arrival back inside the squared circle, and now just trying to squeeze the life out of the World Heavyweight Champion. If a man can't breathe, he certainly can't fight. There's Drew with his heart still in it. Again, we have seen McIntyre in some of the worst predicaments. Just when you think he's down, though, he rises from the ashes, rises like a phoenix to retain his World Championship. Will that be the same situation tonight? Or will Austin Theory capitalize on this opportunity? Blockbuster to the World Heavyweight Champion. Oh, Theory elects not to go for the pinfall. Could have been going for A-Town down. Nobody home and a Glasgow kiss. The cover by McIntyre. Not just yet, Theory's still into it. Well, McIntyre, the Glasgow kiss 7 nights out from our arrival in Scotland, but it's not enough for the 1-2-3. Theory off the counter and a drop toe hold. Both men going tit for tat there, and now Theory is looking to get the better hand. Man, imagine if Austin Theory, 1 week before McIntyre's homecoming in Glasgow, Scotland, is able to take away the World Heavyweight Championship. Imagine what that would do to the heart, the soul, the psyche of a man who has reigned atop Friday Night SmackDown for the better part of 2023. All remains to be seen if Theory can get the job done, or is Drew McIntyre ready to get the ball rolling here. Look at this strength as a big-time belly-to-belly sending Theory out of the ring, down to the floor of the O2. Theory might have got the wind knocked out of him for good in this matchup. McIntyre's on his trail. He's back on the apron, and this time gets the shot he was looking for a few minutes ago, using his own body as a weapon to take out Theory yet again. Drew McIntyre mounting a comeback here. Theory is now the one with dazed and confused looks in his eyes. Oh, but wait a minute. McIntyre got caught. He got slingshotted off that middle buckle. Back and forth, the pendulum of momentum swings in this match. Theory a little slow to take advantage. Luckily, McIntyre didn't have his wits about him that time. Again, these two superstars know each other's playbooks. How much homework have they done, however, into the lead-up, into the preparation for this rematch all these months later here on the Halloween edition of SmackDown. Austin Theory certainly fired up, but better not take his eye off the ball. A pump kick to Drew McIntyre. And once again drops the world champion. Theory may be getting close to victory here. But does he have this warrior wounded? Cradles up Drew, drops him on the knee. Could have been a knockout blow to win the World Heavyweight title. McIntyre with the shoulder off the canvas. Close call by Theory. Wait a minute. McIntyre kips up, but he might have got caught. A-Town down. Austin Theory once again into the cover. But Drew McIntyre is still alive. Austin Theory looking to make Friday Night SmackDown Austin Theory live, but McIntyre says otherwise. McIntyre barely surviving, kipped up but fell right into the A-Town down, and now is once again staring up at the lights, at least for the moment, but brought to his own 2 feet, not by will but by force. McIntyre is hurt. This warrior is certainly wounded, and Austin Theory's foot is on the gas pedal, but he got caught that time. Can't go to the well with repetitive maneuvers against the World Heavyweight Champion, as Drew gonna make him pay for it on the outside. Theory tried to hit his second tope of this matchup, and McIntyre saw it coming from a mile away. Now with Theory in the corner, squashes him up against the buckles. Oh, wait a minute, McIntyre could be going for the kill. Count him down. Let him loose. A Claymore kick. Cover by McIntyre. Will that do it? No. Austin Theory is still alive. It only took one back at SummerSlam, but it might take more here tonight. A second Claymore. And Drew McIntyre retains the World Heavyweight Championship. Austin Theory thought he had McIntyre caught on numerous occasions, but unfortunately his momentum coming out of Clash at the Castle comes to a screeching halt thanks to not one, but two Claymore kicks by the Scottish Warrior.
Here is your winner, and still World Heavyweight Champion, the Scottish
Oh my God, wait a minute! Wait a minute! Gunther! The ring general! Gunther is in the ring! And he's staring down Drew McIntyre! Oh my goodness, this meeting of monsters of Friday Night SmackDown may be looming. Is Gunther calling his shot for the World Heavyweight Championship?
The following contest is scheduled for one fall and is for the World Heavyweight Championship.
It is main event time in Madison Square Garden. The challenger approaches. The ring general, Gunther. The #1 contender. The man who just a few weeks ago laid Drew McIntyre out on his own home soil in Glasgow, Scotland. Message was sent that night, and he was upped, and tension certainly rised between the champion and the challenger. A brawl ensued just 48 hours ago on SmackDown. McIntyre got the best of Gunther in the end. A Claymore kick, laying out Gunther inside the squared circle, but one battle does not equal tonight's war. This will no doubt be the toughest test in Drew McIntyre's World Championship reign yet. A man who has only suffered one loss since December the 9th of last year when he debuted on SmackDown. Gunther is in to give McIntyre the fight of his life for the big gold belt. Dare I say the superstar of 2023, the Scottish Warrior, this fire-breathing son of a bitch, the World Heavyweight Champion, Drew McIntyre. Elimination Chamber equaled victory. The main event of WrestleMania put the gold around the waist of McIntyre. And ever since that night, on Saturday, February the 25th, earlier this year, McIntyre has retained the gold over John Cena, Braun Breaker, Edge, Randy Orton, Austin Theory, AJ Styles. But can McIntyre get through the ring general in Gunther here tonight at Survivor Series? 267 days, the big gold belt has been around the waist of the Warrior, and McIntyre has proudly waved the flag of Friday Night SmackDown. Will that reign continue forward, or is his kryptonite looming at ringside in the #1 contender? Dare I say, one of the biggest main events in Survivor Series history, one of the most anticipated matches ever to take place in these hallowed halls. It is your Friday Night SmackDown main event, Sunday night, November the 19th, 2023, New York City, Madison Square Garden. This is Survivor Series, and the World Heavyweight Championship is on the line.
Introducing the challenger From Vienna, Austria, weighing in at 297 pounds, GUNTHER! And his opponent, from Ayr, Scotland, weighing in at 254 pounds, he is the World Heavyweight Champion, the Scottish Warrior, Drew McIntyre!
The stage is set for your main event. The World Heavyweight Championship is on the line. Drew McIntyre hands over the gold, and will he hand it over for the very last time? 267 days as champion. But will it be and counting? Or will that man Gunther end this historic reign tonight? We are underway here in Survivor Series, and Gunther trying to come hot out of the gate with the drop kick as this World Championship main event has kicked off. I expect a fire under both of these men to get the advantage early on and set the tone for this main event collision. McIntyre looking to inflict some major punishment in the early moments with a submission hold locked in on the ring general Gunther. And you know, McIntyre, smart as a whip. No, he wasn't going to get the victory, but trying to inflict some punishment. And there's the drop kick Gunther looked for after the opening bell. Look at these two titans, King Kong and Godzilla, clashing in New York City. This is going to be very interesting to see, as we mentioned, who gets the advantage in the early going, or if this is going to be a situation of back and forth momentum swinging. McIntyre has taken a beating in some of these World Championship defenses, and as we saw in the video package moments ago, he has made a championship reign out of rising like a phoenix. Just when you think he's down and out, hits a claymore, knocks out his opponent, and McIntyre lives to fight on. But I don't know if that is going to be the right strategy and the right way to get around a guy like Gunther, who is 18-1 since debuting on SmackDown December the 9th of last year. Oh, wait a minute, McIntyre going back to the well with the submission hold here on Gunther, trying to take out the arm, possibly take out the chops, the strikes, the power bomb. A lot of Gunther's arsenal coming from the strength. McIntyre smart to try to pick a body part and work on it, but Gunther trying to come out swinging. McIntyre avoids it. Look at the strength. Oh no! Power bomb to the outside! McIntyre has his foot firmly placed on the gas pedal and is coming at this matchup 100 miles an hour. And that's exactly what you got to do against the ring general Gunther. I do not fault Drew McIntyre for coming at this matchup full head of steam. You were in there with one of the toughest men to ever step foot inside a SmackDown ring. And McIntyre taking the fight to Gunther on the outside. This has been advantage Drew for the most part since the opening bell. You know, it's almost an unintentional as McIntyre stomping out Gunther at ringside. It's almost an unintentional nod of respect. McIntyre recognizes the man he is in the ring with tonight. Recognizes that Gunther is as tough as they come. Former NXT United Kingdom champion for 870 days, you heard that correct. Defeated Bobby Lashley at WrestleMania earlier this year. Kicked off the United States Championship reign that led him to his one and only loss this past August at SummerSlam against Cody Rhodes. Oh, look at McIntyre just outsmarting Gunther that time. There's a cover by Drew to retain the title, not just yet. You gotta wonder who has the advantage in this matchup as well. I mean, Gunther 18-1. McIntyre has not lost since December of last year. McIntyre has been on top of SmackDown. 2023 has been the year of the chosen one, truly fulfilling the prophecy of his destiny throughout this year as the World Heavyweight Champion. McIntyre, wait a minute, oh man, big time counter by Gunther, scooping a slam at ringside. And the ring general ragdolling McIntyre momentarily, which is not something you see very often. But if anybody can hang with McIntyre in a power game, look no further than the leader of Imperium. And you know what? I got to give credit where credit's due. Gunther coming out here tonight without Giovanni Vinci, without Ludwig Kaiser, realizes this is his biggest match, not only since joining SmackDown, but of his WWE career, and realizes if he's going to beat McIntyre, it needs to be decisive. However, Drew McIntyre not looking to allow that opportunity for the ring general. Nice counter by Gunther there, like him or not. Did his homework coming into this matchup. Has had some counters for some of McIntyre's best offense thus far. Some stiff shots. You expect nothing less. McIntyre center the rope. Snap German. Dropped right on the back of his neck. Kick out by Drew. Momentarily there, but obvious damage done by the ring general. Now Gunther again going to the well. Gunther not afraid of repeat offense, especially when he feels he has the momentum firmly in his hands, will do anything he can to beat the hell out of his opponent. Oh my goodness. It was an STO variation, on the outside. Now what does Gunther have in mind? Look at this. McIntyre powerbomb Gunther to the outside earlier, and now an eye for an eye, a powerbomb by Gunther on the outside of the ring. And if that maneuver took place in between the ropes, Gunther may be going for a pinfall right now, but elects to wear down this Scottish Warrior. I mean, no disrespect to some of the names Gunther has been in the ring with, because he has been in the ring with some of the absolute best in this industry, from Cody Rhodes to Bobby Lashley, AJ Styles, Rey Mysterio. But at the end of the day, this is Gunther's biggest challenge to date, no doubt about it. Same goes for McIntyre to be said. I mean, two superstars, two athletes at the top of their game, colliding in full force tonight as Gunther, my goodness, what a slam. McIntyre's trying to roll to the outside, create some distance. It's not often you see two guys like this at this caliber fighting it out for one of the most prestigious prizes in this industry, the World Heavyweight Championship that has been held by so many greats. The Nature Boy Ric Flair, Hulk Hogan, The Rock. List goes on and on. The Icon Sting, The Undertaker, who we saw make a special appearance earlier tonight. Gunther looking to add his name to a list of legends here in Madison Square Garden. Crossface locked in on McIntyre. Seen some rare submission holds out of both of these guys' arsenals so far. Could be looking to throw each other off their game. Nice counter by Gunther there. And a big-time Death Valley driver. Laying out the world champion. And now on the middle rope, going for a splash, nobody home. McIntyre controlled the first few minutes. Gunther tried to take advantage. Now we're starting to see a little bit of a pendulum of a momentum swing. And McIntyre, holy hell! Belly to belly to the outside. Who other than the Scottish Warrior can send Gunther for an amusement park ride like we just saw? Man, these guys are throwing live rounds and using each other's bodies. Oh my goodness, as frisbees in this matchup, just throwing each other left to right. We said it earlier, this is King Kong versus Godzilla, and they are going hold for hold, strike for strike, throw for throw. And only superstars of this caliber, will be able to absorb that kind of punishment that they are dishing out, let adrenaline flow through their veins, and keep fighting for the World Championship. Speaks to the talents of both of these men at the absolute top of their game, the best in this business today. And Gunther cutting McIntyre off with that big-time chop, and now squashing the rib cage. Gunther just taking the wind out of the sails of McIntyre right there. Sending the champion right into the corner. McIntyre starting to be dazed and confused, to say the least. Fatigue starting to set in. These guys have really Done a number on each other, and that's gonna continue off the superplex, delivered by none other than the ring general. And Gunther, not electing for a cover, realizes that McIntyre builds off momentum like a kick-out this late in the matchup, realizes that Drew McIntyre rises like a phoenix when his back up against the wall. Gunther not looking to allow McIntyre that window of opportunity. There's a reversal there and a big-time Saito dropping the champion on the crown of his head. Now Gunther on the tail of the champion. Not allowing any wiggle room right now. Continuing the offense on the outside, and wait a minute here. Gunther clearing off the announce table. 3 weeks ago in Glasgow, Scotland, McIntyre's homecoming, spoiled by the #1 contender, who's looking to repeat history tonight in the Garden. McIntyre with other plans, trying to avoid disaster and a big boot by the contender. Gunther heading inside the ropes, breaking the count momentarily and taking a breath after a physical altercation at ringside. These two heavyweights landing Louisville sluggers on each other. Big boot moments ago. Now Gunther chasing down McIntyre, and the fight is on. A Pier 6 brawl in New York City and a gut wrench by Drew. McIntyre looking to live to see 268 days as world champion, but he's got to get through Gunther tonight. McIntyre off the top. Oh my goodness, counter by Gunther. What a reversal there, and a backbreaker. Who other than Gunther is stopping the momentum mid-air like that by Drew McIntyre? And now, McIntyre's in trouble. Gunther going for the sleeper hold. This submission has brought Gunther nothing but success, but McIntyre not allowing, I don't think, a full clench. Breaking the hold momentarily. Not taking advantage, however. Gunther going for a German. McIntyre counter. Gunther now. The counter on McIntyre, and McIntyre cannot get going. Every time you see some signs of life out of the world champion, Gunther takes the rug out from underneath him. The ring general did his homework. Front, back, up, and down, has McIntyre seemingly figured out. Now putting the champion back on the top rope. Looking to send McIntyre's body into the wind once more. Oh no, look at this. Double underhook, and Drew McIntyre down to the canvas. Now up against the ropes, and a big boot, and McIntyre's lifeless body sent over the top rope. McIntyre is in trouble. The Scottish Warrior, I don't think has ever had his back up against the wall like this. Gunther not even going for a cover. He could have easily brung McIntyre back inside the ring and tried for a pin. He might have had him, but the ring general continuing the punishment on the Scottish Warrior. We're still not done. McIntyre sent ribcage first to the corner of the Spanish announce table. McIntyre's in deep trouble right now. Gunther breaking the count. Clearly has something in mind on the outside of the ring. He cleared off this announce table a few moments ago. And the ring general has not forgotten. Oh, wait a minute here. Gunther looking to repeat history from McIntyre's spoiled homecoming in Glasgow, Scotland. Power bomb through the announce table. We may be witnessing the dismantling of the Scottish Warrior live and in living color. McIntyre sent through the announce table, and what does the champion have left? Gunther going for a cover to win the World Heavyweight title. Oh, not just yet. McIntyre still alive. McIntyre barely. You saw how lackadaisical the kick out was. Gunther going for a drop kick. McIntyre avoid. Somehow the champion still in this match, looking to do what he does best. Well, McIntyre got busted open at some point on the outside of the ring. The champion is literally seeing red right now. The triple suplexes on Gunther. Drew trying to do what has made his championship reign so successful. Rise from the ashes when his back is up against the wall and retain his world title. And McIntyre in the corner. Sense of urgency out of the champion. Claymore. No, Gunther. Moved out of the way. Claymore misses wildly. And it's a boot to the already bloody skull by Gunther, delivered to McIntyre. Oh my goodness. And now the bare knees to the beaten, battered skull of the world champion. A short sign of life. But the Claymore kick, which was clearly a sense of urgency strike by McIntyre, realizing he is in trouble, failed to deliver. And Gunther is right back, seeking his beaten and broken prey on the outside of the ring. McIntyre unloads. Oh no, on the outside, big time German. With anything left in the tank, McIntyre is willing to risk it all, but Gunther just has McIntyre's number right now. Oh no, now what? Hoisting McIntyre up for another powerbomb on the apron. Oh my goodness. Swinging McIntyre like a Louisville swinger right into the steel underneath that apron. This is not good. McIntyre is in trouble. And now slammed up against the barricade. Gunther is still inflicting punishment on what may be the most weakened state we have ever seen Drew McIntyre in. Again, back body drop on the barricade. Gunther knows McIntyre has been in the worst situations and somehow survived, and he is trying to avoid that at all costs tonight. Gunther broke the count. He's not done. McIntyre is basically lifeless on the outside, and Gunther is ragdolling the world champion. Not again! Into the barricade for the third or fourth time in this match. McIntyre has got to find something within. He's got to dig down deep. He's got to kick into a second or third gear, if he even has it. It's now or never, because McIntyre has never been in more trouble than he is right now. A lariat just sent McIntyre's head into the fifth row. Boot laces to the back. Now Gunther. Oh no, oh no. Gunther going for the submission, going for the chokehold. A sleeper locked in. If McIntyre passes out, if he taps out, it all comes crumbling down. The Scottish Warrior. It's now or never to survive. 267 days and counting as champion is on the line. Gunther's got it locked in, but McIntyre breaks the hold. A reverse headbutt. Might have knocked Gunther out. Going for the cover. Almost had him there. Man, how apropos would have been if Gunther's own sleeper hold cost him. New York City in appreciation for Drew McIntyre's effort. However, Gunther is still alive. Surviving, certainly not in this case, is not thriving for Drew McIntyre. And he is down, beaten, battered, bloody, and broken once more on the outside of the ring. And Gunther, this son of a bitch, is not done. Oh no. Power bomb on the apron. Excuse me, on the barricade. First on the apron, then the barricade, and the spine of Drew McIntyre may be snapped in two. Gunther ragdolling McIntyre, sent inside the ring. And Gunther may be moments away from ending this legendary reign, or not just yet. McIntyre somehow, someway, another reversal here, squashing Gunther in the corner. The champion's coming alive. Maybe we spoke too soon. A counter by the ring general, muscling up the champion again. And just ragdolling him down to the canvas. Look at Gunther, look at this animal. This late into the matchup, running full head of steam on a beaten, battered champion. And now with McIntyre in the air, breaking the shoulder of the champion. McIntyre's beaten, McIntyre's bloody, but is he broken? Gunther with a last symphony and into the cover. It's over. The reign of the Scottish Warrior is over. 267 days leads to tonight's ultimate demise by the ring general, Gunther.
Here is your winner, and new World Heavyweight Champion, GUNTHER!
A decisive, statement-making victory. Tonight in Madison Square Garden, a legend was promised to be born, and so was that. The 267-day reign of the Scottish Warrior Drew McIntyre has come to an end, in a broken, absolutely beaten, bloody fashion by the bare hands of the man we now call the new World Heavyweight Champion. The ring general Gunther has conquered Drew McIntyre and sits on the throne of the kingdom on Friday Night SmackDown.
Game face on when I chase like that. Yeah, I play so strong with a knife in the back. I'ma swing home run like a baseball bat. Gonna see me rise if you hate on that. I don't play both sides, doing me no cap. I'm a